Today, we're going to become the richest people in the history of the universe by watching numbers get really, really, really big. Starting with a lemonade stand. I click here once, it cycles, we get $1. One lemon, $1. We click again, it happens again. Pretty straightforward so far. The numbers today are going to get alarmingly big. Really, really, really big. And for $4, we can increase the value. We now get $2 per lemonade. It's just that quickly. Look how happy he is already. So at $2 per go, we can save up enough money for the next upgrade already. That has taken 40 seconds already. Numbers get bigger. It's like counting sheep, but counting someone else's money. $4.58 for the next one. So this is already worth $4 per pull. We almost have enough for a newspaper delivery business. $60. Seems like a discount in today's economy. I can't buy a newspaper for $60. So things glow orange, we touch them. They glow orange, we touch them again. So we're already up to $6 per lemonade, which is enough to buy an upgrade. Now we even have more than enough. So for $6, we've upgraded again. The lemonade is now at level 8, so we can keep clicking this if we want, make $8 at a time. And it goes up and up and up and up. Endlessly. We even have enough for newspaper delivery already. $60 needed, we have 76. This one I think will take longer. It shows the time over here. 2 seconds, which seems like a long time in comparison. The more you level them up, the quicker they do get though. We've got other things to look forward to. A car wash, $720. Pizza delivery for $8,000. Donut shop for $100,000. Shrimp boat for $1.2 million. A hockey team for $14 million. All of these seems like a steal until we get to the bottom. But the bottom is inevitably where we're headed. By the time we're here, you'll be asleep or you get your money back. We'll keep on clicking. We do get $60 per newspaper pull, which is pretty good. So for $69, we can actually, I think, double that. They usually go up in increments of themselves, so we can even upgrade it again. Now it gets triple the money. $180 every 2 seconds. So between the two, we can keep clicking. But it's important to keep upgrading both of them. The newspaper stand is probably going to be more worthwhile for now. $8 compared to $420. So I might even start to ignore the lemonade for now. These do level up once their green bar fills, and they can get quite a good multiplier. For now, we're going to spend $720 on the car wash. $152 left over. This will make $540 every 6 seconds. So the newspaper stand is actually still considerably better. Especially once we upgrade it again. $160 to upgrade it, $180. Tired of pressing buttons? Hire a manager to do it. We absolutely will. Mostly because we have to. So it's $1,000 for Cabe Johnson. He runs the lemonade stands. Grand Admiral Tarkov will go ahead and run that for us. So now we're making $8 per second, we'll call it, in the background. Now I don't need to try anymore. I can just sit here and repeat the same sentence for the next 4 hours and we'll make money. Since this one is running itself, let's make an investment. We can actually buy the next level. It'll be $198 to level this up, so it'll go from $8 to $25. And you can see it's much quicker. Much, much, much quicker. We can still max buy it from there if we want. We could buy another 23 levels for $1,100. So we will. We've actually doubled its income again. Now it's going even quicker. And it's good that that is speeding up because we're going to need a lot more money. Okay, we're going to go back to buying, well, maybe start buying max since money's coming in pretty quickly. So we could buy, for $6,000, we're going to buy 12 levels of newspaper, which brought it up to $1,260 per pull. So at that rate, we're going to make thousands and thousands of dollars. I want the manager for this. That way everything sort of runs itself in the background. It starts to be too much to run efficiently. I could do it, but it's not easy. $15,000 for our newspaper manager. We're basically already there. We'll touch the car wash while we're at it too to make sure it's still going. Got to keep those cars clean. All right, Perry Black runs newspaper deliveries. $15,000. And that's a one-time purchase. Don't ask me how it works. They're committed to the newspapers. So we could buy another 6 levels, which will level this up. We're going to do that and it'll make $1,620 every second. So money goes up a lot. Once we level it up, I think we should buy a few more levels because that will increase it. It's now up to $1,900. We'll round that up to nearly $2,000. We'll also spend our $9,000 on the lemonade stand. It went from $50 to $83. This is going so quickly it will make a difference. We already have enough for pizza delivery. 8,640. We'll buy a level of that. It's worth 4,300 per pull, so we'll double that with its initial investment. And then we just keep on trucking. This one is slower. That was probably more like 10 seconds, but we have 10 seconds if we're being honest. We got to deliver those pizzas. This would be the funnest business yet. I could never ever have a pizza delivery business, or a pizza business of any kind for that matter. 21 levels of the car for actually $86,000 already. Didn't quite level it up, but it's now making $12,000 every few seconds. Money's going to go up quickly. The newspaper business is still our bread and butter. We can buy 3 more levels of the car wash. That did level it up. The speed of the car wash, profits times 2. So it's going to go quicker. It now makes 13,500. So it probably is actually better than the newspaper. We do need a manager for the car wash. It's going to be W.W. Heisenberg. That is a Breaking Bad reference. Runs car washes for 100 grand. Well, we can actually afford that while we were sitting there waiting. Even looks like him. So Heisenberg is going to run the car wash. Since it hit its new level, we should invest a little bit more in it. Not worth it. But now I know, once it levels up, we don't necessarily need to boost it again. The lemonade stand is at level 83. I could actually buy another 30 levels. I don't know if that's enough to boost it to the next level, and it actually was. So this makes $114 at light speed. So we'll let it keep going. We're very happy with that. We still want to maybe upgrade the newspaper. 1980 for 100,000 becomes 25. It's creeping closer to its next level. We're going to buy 4 or 5 more levels of the pizza business. That'll take it from 8640 to 34,500. We actually snuck an extra level in then. The pizza business is so slow, I should click on it more, because we're just waiting for it anyway. Actually, we can increase its value before it lands, even one more time. So there's $50,000 for us. And we'll click it again. It's going to pay for itself very quickly. It needs to hit level 25 to level up. So we'll invest another 127,000. Now it's going to get 65,000 for touching down. The numbers get bigger and bigger and bigger. 115,000 for another 2 levels, up to 73,000. We'll click it. We got to buy the donut shop. It's currently only $104,000, so there it is. It makes $51,000 from its base, so we're absolutely going to buy that. It's very slow, but we'll get it quicker later. But it's nice to have the donut shop just running in the background. We can actually level it up to double its income real quick, and again to triple its income. So instead of landing on 50, it landed on 55,000. And that's helpful for us, obviously. We do want to keep things leveled up, but we do need to keep making money. We can also buy an upgrade. Lemonade stands profit times 3 for 250,000. I think we'll do that. So it's now making $342 at light speed. Eventually, we can see the money per minute or second that they're earning, because for right now, I don't really know what that corresponds to. But numbers get bigger. That's all that matters. We can also buy Mama Sean runs pizza deliveries for 500,000. We'll do that. We no longer need to touch the pizza button. Buy stuff faster with the max button. We've already got that well figured out. Not my first time making a fortune and clicking on things. Okay, we're going to keep the donut shop going. We're going to give it 2 more levels up. That should give it a quarter over $300,000 every cycle. And those go quick. And that's going to help us afford more pizza deliveries, because we need to get that leveled up if we can. This one's about to touch down. I'm actually not going to touch that this time around. We're just going to let it go. 6 more levels there. We can't quite do it. We can upgrade our newspaper. That should hit level 50, which will bring it from 2,500 up to 3,300. Not that would be more dramatic, but it is quicker. It doesn't necessarily increase the income, but it will increase the speed, which does actually increase the income. Numbers get bigger. Taxes aren't a thing in this world. We don't need to factor any tax planning in. We can just go for it. When you make this much money, as long as you don't spend it all, everything probably works out. What are taxes anyway? Newspaper delivery profit times 3 for funny pages. You put some funny things in there, you make more money. Who'd have thought? So these now make $9,900, probably every second. Probably less than every second, so that feels good. We got to keep the donut shop going. For 900,000, we're going to buy another 3 levels of that. And then another level on top of that. It's now 520,000 per cycle. $500,000. Pizza will probably be the next one to level up. We can even buy another 4 levels of it now. It's getting closer to, there's another 4 levels, 5 levels. So the pizza will level up too. So it's going to go quicker. And it makes $112,000 per cycle. Make that $116,000. So things are just ramping up and up and up. All for us. The shrimp boat is only 1.2 million. I do need a manager for the donut shop because I keep forgetting to click on it. I'm too busy to click. Jim Thornton, cousin of Tim Hortons, will run the donut shop. Eventually. Times 2, times 1, so it's now making $673,000 per cycle. So we'll keep clicking on it. We'll buy a few more levels there. And the manager was 1.2 million. I'd probably rather buy that before the shrimp boat. Mostly because I'm lazy. I just want to buy things and have them make money for me. Even just clicking, we don't need it. Clicking is overrated. So there's a shrimp boat. That means we have enough for Jim Thornton. So now the donut shop runs itself. So I could just sit back and relax and click on it. We do need to increase the profit speed on it. It is getting a little slow. I don't know what it takes in total. We'll pay attention when it closes again. But I'll continue to upgrade it for now because it is a big earner. $800,000 feels good. So it's 18 seconds. If we level it up, it'll become 9 seconds. We'll also buy the shrimp boat now for 1.24 million. It makes 622,000 by default, but takes a full minute and a half. So by the time that's done, you'll be asleep anyway. By the time you wake up, we'll be octillionaires. At least. So you have that to look forward to. We're going to buy a level of that, so that's already going to produce 1.2 million. By the time that counts down, the shrimp boat might be earning considerably more. We got to decide what we want to go for next. There is an upgrade. We can get car wash profits times 3 for $1 million. For a drive-through wash, we don't need to have employees anymore. They can just go through the automated system. So even that's now making 44,000 every few seconds. That's a big earner for us. The shrimp boat, we're going to upgrade again for 1.5 million. We now get 1.8 million when that closes. That's a considerable amount of money. We just keep rolling on along. We'll buy 2 more for the donut shop real quick. That brought it up to almost $1 million. $1 million every 18 seconds, I believe it was, is far better than the shrimp boat so far. So we'll continue upgrading it. We'll keep adjusting things as we go. The main thing is we're making money. Everything's going up. We're getting richer. Everything is cool, calm, and collected. We'll buy another donut shop. We only need another 4. And then we'll have it leveled up so it'll do this much quicker, and it's going to be our earner. Donut shops probably are a big earner. I don't see how they possibly couldn't be. 1.25 million. Now, what do we want to work with next? 600,000. We got to keep the donut shop going. Oh, the shrimp did actually land. That's what gave us all of the money. 2 more levels, so we're going to upgrade the donut shop, so it's going to go faster. The faster grade lines feel good. That's really all we want and need. They just need to keep rolling along and we're happy. Very quickly, we saved up nearly $5 million. We will maybe invest a little bit more in the donut shop, but I think that number is going to be a little bit small compared to what we need. But $1.5 million every 9 seconds will add up pretty nicely. Now we got to work on the shrimp boat. 1.7 million for a single upgrade. But that means it gets $2.5 million every cycle. It is a slow cycle though. We should maybe determine which one of these is the biggest earner for us and continue to have it going, which is going to be the donut shop. But we can also just max buy everything. When we have that much money, we might as well. And whatever pops up orange again, we can just buy it, increase the numbers. The car wash went up quickly. So this is $50,000 every cycle. It's not terrible. We can spend another $15,000 at $75,000 per cycle. Actually, it will level up soon too. So the car wash might become our big earner. We'll buy another 5 levels like that, so it's going quicker. It's $82,000 every 2 seconds. So it's $40,000 per second. So it's getting up there. We'll give it a little boost as well. Everything leveling up is good. Another 2 there. Even the lemons might be able to get leveled up. 11 more levels here. 170. Another 5 levels here. 138,000. Big numbers. At some point, I could just start saying big numbers. It's really the same difference. We're going to level the donuts up to level 30. That's now 1.55 million. We could buy more newspapers. I think lemons might need to hit level 250, so they're a little ways away. We are going to upgrade the shrimp. It's working away as best it can. We need 15 million for a hockey team, which seems like a bargain. The next upgrade we're going to need, pizza delivery profits for 5 million. That would be a big one too. These are currently at $140,000 every whatever seconds. It's now 172,000 every 5 seconds. This will actually increase quite a lot. So if we simply save up $5 million and invest that, that's going to do good things for our pizza. I'm pretty sure that can only hit level 50 before it levels up, so it'll do it quicker. Pizza will likely take over as our big earner. It's just, I gotta resist the orange buttons everywhere. Mustn't touch them. Robot cars, pizza delivery profit. Robot pizza delivery coming next year, promise. It is time for real. $544,000 per cycle now, which is really good. We'll spend another 5 million upgrading that. It's almost $600,000 every 6 seconds. We only need another 5 levels there. That'll absolutely be worth it because it's going to do this really quick. So it's definitely going to take over as the big earner. The shrimp boat is about to touch down, so there was a $3 million deposit for us. We could also buy another upgrade or manager. I don't want to do that yet. I want to get 5 levels of pizza shop. There it is. So that's going to be $13.7 million. But now the pizza is twice as quick. 650,000 every 3 seconds. So that's going to pile up really nicely for us. We make wise choices here. At least I feel like it is. It's very easy to think myself very wise here. As an observer, you're probably seeing all sorts of mistakes that I'm missing. And I can live with that. I don't really want Forrest Trump right now. Yeah, we don't really need a manager touching that every once in a while. We're going to get prepackaged pastries. Donut shop profits times 3 for 10 million. So the donut shop is $5 million per cycle, obviously. This one's going to pay out a lot. So we're going to spend $10.4 million, and that makes $5.1 million every 10 seconds. So if we level it up, it'll make probably way more, $10 million every 5 seconds. Something thereabouts. We can also buy the hockey team now. $15 million well spent. Need a good investment? Use a time warp. We don't believe in time warps here. Not yet, at least. We do have 3 of them. Eventually, they'll come in handy. But for right now, we can just sit back and relax. Okay, the hockey team will take 6 minutes, but it'll make 7.4 million. I guess we'll upgrade that at least once along the way. By the time that 6 minutes elapses, we'll be entirely different people. Donut shop can get upgraded twice, 9.2 million. It's now worth 5.4 million per cycle. It's going to be a good one to level up. So will a lot of things. And that's why I like to have max buy going, so we can see how close we are to the next level. 17 levels of lemons is nowhere near its next level. The closest one is realistically going to be the donut shop. We need the donut shop to level up. Forrest Trump for 10 million is getting tempting, as strange as that is. Instead of going to buy 8 levels of the shrimp, maybe. Is that going to be worth it? I think that's going to add many millions here. The donut shop still goes so much faster, though. I think it's going to be the way to do it. Another 5 levels up to 6.2 million. That's definitely the right choice. It's easy to second guess. I will buy Forrest Trump because I can't help it. Managers El Nido, they'll even keep earning when you're offline. That's true, actually. That's very true. We'll buy 4 levels of shrimp real quick. That took it from 3.1 to 5.56, now 6.8 million. That will run itself. That will add up to about 6.2 million on the faster donut shop is still much better. 10 more levels, donut shop gets leveled up. Although the shrimp 2 will also level up at 25, but it's going to be more expensive to get there, I do believe. We can get another level at the hockey team, but its 15 million is nothing. The donut shop will make that in 10 seconds. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is invest in donut shops and not hockey teams. When you want to buy something next, consider that. This legally is not financial advice. Legally, I give you no advice ever. Do not listen to me. Unless it's to fall asleep, have at her. We're going to buy another 4 levels of donut shop, 6.8 million. That's going to feel pretty good. Then we buy another one level up to 45. $7 million. It's making $7 million every 10 seconds. The shrimp boat could still be leveled up. Upgrades here, they're $17 million each. So the last 5 upgrades are going to be over $100 million. Which sounds like a lot, but it's really not that bad. We're waiting on the shrimp boat anyway. We might as well upgrade the things that are producing in the meantime. Maybe when this gets down to 10 seconds, we'll throw some money in if we can. What's our next upgrade? The shrimp boat profits times 3 is kind of tempting though. It still makes way less than a donut shop, but once it levels up, that will be a big one. We're trying to do things intelligently, and sometimes that means waiting. But we do have the numbers ever going up. If only it was real life. 51.7 million, there's 52.5 million. There's another $8 million for us. The dream. So we're going to spend our $62 million buying another 3 levels at Donut Shop, and we very quickly make another $15 million in really a matter of seconds. The shrimp boat's about to go off, so I might as well make an investment there. 6.8 million to 9.9 million. We'll get just a little bit more out of that, not a big deal. It just felt good to squeeze that in there. We could also upgrade that. It'll be up to 30 million if it gets 3 times profit. It still takes so long that it really just feels hard to justify. Another level of Donut Shop for $24 million. One more though, and it cuts its time in half. Donut Shop is a big one. It's going to make us a lot of money. The last upgrade is only 26.7 million. So we're just about there. Any moment now, there it is. Now we're half the time for 7.8 million. Our income actually just went up a lot. So for the shrimp boat, it was 25 million to triple its profits. We'll be there momentarily too. Thanks to our donut shop. So shrimp boat, profit times 3. It now makes 30 million. Now it's 32 million per cycle. It is a slow cycle, but we can live with that. That's not the end of the world. Everything else, we could definitely buy some pretty good upgrades for. $513,000 is quick. I don't know how quick it is. Like, I don't think it can compare to $8 million every 4 seconds. Eventually, they all get good enough that they can all do wonderful things. But for now, we gotta pick and choose somewhat. We'll buy another 6 levels of shrimp boat, actually. So it's now $43 million per cycle, and it's almost leveled up to the point where it gets cut in half. So it does get quicker. There's another 1 level, and the final level. So that's going to speed up the rest of its time. We'll buy it another 2 levels and 1 level, so $52 million per cycle. $52 million every 47 seconds, and 56 million. So it's going to go up quick. The hockey team is getting closer. We could maybe make some investments in it, but at $18 million per level, it's a little bit harder to justify. We do have $40 million already. We'll buy another level of this, $58 million. We could buy 27 levels of lemons. That'll take it from 513 to 603. But the speed of the lemon profits did just go up actually, so that did actually level it up. That's good. $603 even quicker. I don't know how much value that's adding, but it's all adding something. 25 levels of newspaper. We'll go for that. There's 14,400. They're all going to help. They all take their time. Okay, we're going to buy 3 levels of hockey team real quick. So at least now when it closes, it'll get now $45 million. The hockey team upgrade is $500 million. But its numbers will grow too. Everything's going to take its time. It's about to level up too. Round out its thing. Rather. It's going to take a while to level up. We got to manually push that, but we'll live with that. That's okay. Okay, we're going to buy another 2 levels of shrimp, and then we can let things gather up for a minute. Coming back after 5 minutes, and we bought ourselves a movie studio. I clicked it as soon as I came back, and this is what we got. Now it's going to make 540 million every 26 minutes. So we better start it going. Aside from that, money is piling up quickly. We did have almost enough to upgrade the shrimp boat, which would knock its time down as well. We need everything to get very expensive. The hockey team needs to start going again. 6 minutes for that. We got to decide what we need to level up next. It might be the newspaper business, because we can already get 16 levels of it reasonably easily. The next upgrade too would be hockey profits times 3. Everything's going to get a little bit expensive from this point forward. So we need to be strategic about it. 19 levels of pizza. would only take us to 69. That's not close enough. 30 levels of lemon. I think it needs to hit level 1000 to level up. So we gotta be selective about how we do this. Shrimp boats would make us a lot of money if we can get them to level 50, but it's still a rather slow cycle. $62 million every minute. The donut shop is probably still better overall. We will get 19 levels of newspaper. That way it can give us $18,000 twice a second. We'll let that pile up for a second. We only need $61.2 million to level it up again, so it'll go even quicker. For more of that background money we love so much. $61 million will be here momentarily. Already up to 56. There it is. One more level. It's now going quicker. $18,000 a cycle. So the speed actually doubled there again. So $18,000 like clockwork. It makes $100,000 before long. Coming back a little while later, we have $15.6 billion that we need to spend carefully. I could spend $12.6 billion on a bank, but that's not going to be the wisest investment. We need to level up the most logical one, which might be done through upgrades. We could upgrade the hockey team or the movie studio. Neither of those I want. I should start them going. By the time tomorrow rolls around, they'll have cycled again. The shrimp boat's probably the obvious choice here. We won't max buy that. We will buy 10 of those for $651 million, so not quite $1 billion. The next 10 is $1.849 billion, which we can easily afford. So the shrimp boats are making nearly $100 million every cycle, which appears to be about 30 seconds. They'll make us plenty of money in the future. Now we need to figure out what else we can level up potentially. So buying next, the hockey team would level up. The car would also level up. Also the pizzeria. The pizzeria might be the way to do this. That would cost $13 billion. I think for now we're going to spend $2.5 billion on the car wash. That jumped it up to $162,000 per cycle. And it's doing that less, it takes less than a second to accomplish that feat. Manager-wise, $110 million to buy the hockey team, Don Cherry. We absolutely will. That's pretty cheap comparatively. Now I don't have to click that every 6 minutes. We can also upgrade the hockey team. I think we probably want to do that for only $1.3 billion. Now it's going to make $186 million, and that's going to do it twice as quick. The income goes up so much when we manage to hit the next level like that. We could max buy things. We're pretty close to affording the pizzeria. If we max buy, we'll get 47, so we'll only be 3 pieces away. We're going to need more billions of dollars for that, though. It is adding up quickly. I think upgrading the pizzeria would be the next maneuver. There are also the angels. So the more angels we earn, we can prestige and start over with giant bonus. We currently have 0 angels because we need to get further. Upgrade-wise, yeah, so it was the team jets. We can't do anything else anyway. Managers, we don't need to manage anything right now. The movie studios for $500 million, but the movie studios, they're going to take 4 years to finish anyway. We're still at, we can get 47 levels of pizzeria. I don't think buying the bank is worth it right now. I think it takes even longer. We'd spend basically all of our money to have to sit here for an hour for it to start paying out. I think we need quicker money. We need quicker investments. The other 20 levels of hockey team is actually quite good. 16 levels of that would not quite level it up, but it takes so long anyways that I don't know if we want to do that. We sort of need that quicker money. Let's buy 47 levels of pizzeria. That'll take it from 648,000 to 1.2 million. $1.25 million every couple seconds. So that's going to add up to $1 billion fairly quickly. Relatively quickly. Between all of it, they'll make $1 billion. We already have $1.1 billion sitting there. We'll be able to buy another level of that soon. The hockey team is about to touch down for $186 million, so we could buy another level of pizzeria. That's up to 98. $1.27 million per cycle. Could buy 20 more levels of lemons. I don't think I care about that. $603 has to be going way fast for it to really make a difference for the rest of our stuff. 6 levels of donuts. Would make something of a difference. I don't know if it'd make enough of a difference. $240 million is a lot of money to spend. We're making it quicker, but we're also pretty dependent on some of these big cycles at this point too. Hockey team level 25 is pretty good. We need to save up some more money. Car wash is ready again, but it's doing its best to earn us some money. I do think pizzeria will be a big one. Because it's doing this every 3 seconds, it'll make $1 million every half a second, 1.5 seconds. That's going to add up quickly too. The big numbers add up quickly, but it's really just a waiting game. I don't think we have any unlocks. Want to maximize your profits? Look no further. Get your investments to these quotas. Lemonade stand 125 for ×2. Actually, that might not be that far away. Lemonade stand is at 100. Also, so the hockey team thing is back. Hockey team might actually be worth it at this point for those giant bursts of money. I know they take a little while, but they're quicker than they were. It's only about 3 minutes per hockey team. So maybe that is actually worth it if we triple that. Let's go for that for $500 million. Now it's 559 million up to 582. So that's actually going to be good. That'll make $1 billion every 3 or 4 minutes. That's going to certainly add up long term. If we can upgrade that, it's only $177 million per level, so that's not bad. Newspaper sitting 125 would be good. It's only going to double its income though. We need some of the bigger things like donut shop to 100 would be a big one. Something in this area. Pizza delivery, donut shop, or shrimp boat to 100. Pizza delivery is almost there. So actually this is definitely what we need to get up there. I'm so tempted to click on another level of hockey though. Could buy 2 more levels of it. I really think we just gotta power through and buy some pizza shops though. I do think that's gonna be our best bet. Buying a single level, because when $3 million on a single lemon gave it an extra $3. A $3 million investment gets us $3 per microsecond. A very few short minutes later, we have enough to upgrade the pizzeria. So its speed is going to go up as well as its income. So the final 2 levels took it from 1.27 million. Okay, that didn't work as well as I thought it would. That's okay. It's still doing this much quicker. It is just over a second, I believe, to get $1.3 million. And that's a nice increase for us. We still don't need the manager for the movie studios. We need to put it off buying next to see what else we can buy. There's a lot of things we want. There's a lot of things we need. We probably should focus on the upper end of things a lot. The shrimp boat might be the best investment for our money currently. $662 million invested brought us up to $102 million per cycle. And it's doing that every 23 or 4 seconds. Kind of an odd time, but it's doing its best. We could also put 177 into the hockey team to go from 582 to 604. So it adds $22 million for every upgrade on its cycle. That over time will also be considerable. I want them all is the problem. There's so many good ones. The hockey team one does come around pretty quickly. It's only 200 million currently. I'd have to sit down and calculate the time versus the earnings to see which one is the most valuable right now. We're going to max by... The hockey team's already getting close again, actually, so we can add another 627 million, so it was a $23 million increase. The shrimp boat is done, so we'll do it again. Now it's 650 million per cycle. It's going to get big quickly. And that's going to feel good. Upgrading it, I don't think there's actually anything else we can do right now. We just got to keep working our way down. If we get $50 billion, we can get bank profit ×3. 1 trillion, we get all profits ×3. But we're not trillionaires yet. We're working on it, but we're definitely not there yet. So then if we spend the next $3 billion on another 8 levels of hockey, that'll take us from 649 to 828 million. And the next upgrade for the hockey team is only $12.4 billion away. That's really not that bad. Same with the movie studio, actually, so we should probably save up for those. The car wash will take $1.23 quadrillion. So I think we're going to work on the hockey team and movie studio in the meantime. So we'll sit back and relax and let that pile up for a minute. It won't be long. Along the way, we're going to spend another $3.099 billion upgrading the hockey team again. This could instead buy 63 lemonade stands, 14 newspaper stands, 6 car washes, 23 donuts. But I think the hockey team is the way to do this. So another 5 levels of this will take us from $828 million per cycle to $940 million, a considerable step up. As the shrimp boat closes, Nothing happened. We could buy another level of movie studios. It's running near to its end. 537 becomes 627 million. Everything will add up. It's all about patiently waiting and watch numbers get bigger. We are easily making $1 million a second on average. Probably considerably more. It jumps around depending on what's closing in that moment. We generally feel it when the shrimp boat closes because that's $102 million. That will get bigger. The hockey team is nearly $1 billion per cycle now too. So we need that to go quickly. That's going to be a big earner for us. Another 5 levels of donut will take us from 7.7 million to 8.5. That's actually considerable too. All the millions of dollars are going to add up. 10 levels of lemons, $639 per cycle. I do believe once you upgrade one of these two, the other ones might get slightly faster. So it's in our interest to level everything up a lot. Everything influences everything. Something big clearly closed. I believe that was must have been the hockey team. We could do another 11 levels of donuts. Let's do $817 million for the hockey team. 940 to 962 million. 2 more levels, it'll be clearly over $1 billion per cycle. We could do 6 levels at Donut Shop. 8.5 becomes 9.4. This one's actually increasing a lot. $10 million every 3 seconds is not bad. So it only needs to close a little over 100 times right now to make a full billion. And it does it pretty quick. That's going to add up to quite some billions all by itself. One single level, 9.4 to $9.642 million every 5 seconds. At this point, we could spend $900 million upgrading this to get us another $20 million every cycle. Or we could upgrade our donut to make us considerably more. It's making half of that value every couple seconds anyway. That's going to feel better, so we'll get 11 levels at Donut Shop to go from 9.6 to $11.3 million. So that's about a little less than $2 million every 3 seconds. So that's going to add up really, really quickly too. We need that income. In fact, we'll buy it another one, $11.5 million. We'll also start the movie studio going again for another 25 minutes. Don't really feel like bothering with the lemons. We still need to be able to buy our next level for the hockey team because that's going to be a big one. $8.5 billion. That's actually really not going to take us long to save up. I just need to resist touching things in the meantime. And that's perfectly okay. We're going to let them pile up nice and easy. Nothing to worry about at all. And there we are. Our $10.5 billion fortune means we can buy 7 levels of hockey team, taking us from $960 million to $1.19 billion every cycle, and that cycle is going to be a lot shorter. So there's an extra $1 billion for us. It's only 1.5 minutes now, and that's going to open up some options to buy other things. We should probably spend 2.15 of our $3.4 billion fortune on a bank. We're going to let that go. That takes 1 hour and 42 minutes, but it's going to get us $1 billion. We'll make a lot more money with other things in the meantime, but the important thing is we have the bank. And one single upgrade will double that to $2 billion. I don't think we need a manager quite yet. $500 million for the movie studio isn't going to be worth our time. It might be the next one to level up at this point. It's only $13 billion. The cheapest one in the newspapers is actually only $15 billion as well, so that's going to be a candidate. But if we're going to work at the movie studio anyway, we should maybe max buy that. $627 million becomes $985 million. I feel like that made other things quicker. I might be imagining that, but we should also be able to see by the numbers somewhere. Something should have had time knocked off. The pizza's still less than 2 seconds. I do feel like things updated when I did that though. No matter either way, we just let the money pile on up for us. There's still other things we could get here. 225 a movie studio actually isn't bad, relatively speaking, but I think that's all it means. That's when it levels up. So we get another 2 levels there. It's up to $1.164 billion. Am I imagining that? I do feel like things get faster. The pizza is still showing 1 second before it flips off, so maybe it's not. We'll buy 75 levels of donut, 11.5 to 11.6 million every 2 or 3 seconds. That's going to add up well. I'm not really sure what I should focus on upgrading. I probably need the manager for the movie studios before too long, but we have to hit it so rarely. Maybe it doesn't matter ultimately. things will just continue to pile up. It's inevitable. It's an avalanche rolling, sliding downhill at this point. Still don't have any angels to work with. One angel, rather. 2% plus a 0.5%. So to get a 2.5% bonus. I don't know how often they show up, but it clearly takes a lot of money. We have a lot of money, but we need a lot more. 550 million for another movie upgrade. We get about $100 million extra per cycle for every one of those. Really wish we could see the money per second on some of these. We could buy 8 levels of lemons. 639 becomes 66. 666. 672. So that was actually a considerable upgrade. That was 5% more for these. I just don't know how often those are cycling to actually make it worthwhile. Because obviously $693 isn't much compared to, say, 1.19 billion. But it does depend on how fast it goes. I think the hockey team just closed. That's why we got a big $1 billion boost. So with that, we'll buy another movie. And then another movie again. So $1.4 billion per cycle. That's going to start to add up quite nicely. 2 levels of lemons. 699, 702. The $28 million we need comes around so quick. The lemons are going to need more. I hit the wrong thing. Lemons need only level 300 actually. I thought they'd have to go a lot further. But in order to get to level 300, 34.489 billion. We're not quite there yet. We're not that far off anymore. We're inching closer. It's a game of increments. 1 angel to go. I don't think anything tells us how to do more angels. You'll start attracting these heavenly fat cats once you become a trillionaire. Claim them by resetting your investments. Once you have 10,000 plus angel investors, you can sacrifice them to gain important upgrades. So we got to be trillionaires to really make those work. We're not that far off, especially at our rate of increase. It's going quick. Once the hockey team closes again, we'll be feeling pretty good. Lemons are going. The shrimp boat's good for upgrades. This metal zone tends to be a nice balance. There's big enough amounts that you feel them, but they're not so big that they're crazy expensive to upgrade. Movie studio gets another 2, $1.6 billion per close every 6 minutes. So maybe they are actually getting pretty close to even. The shrimp boat cycles a lot quicker, but it's only 400 million. It's a quarter of that. I guess it is way less than a quarter of the time. But the upgrading increments are smaller too. That only added $2 million. They're all doing their best. That's what matters. They're all adding up over time. I don't think there's anything we can do with our clothes. Okay, we're already wearing these. Add 30% boost to newspapers. This adds an angel bonus. This adds a boost to your donut shop. And because we have the tip-top tuxedo pieces, we add a 1.2 times bonus to the effect of each matching piece set. So they're all helping each other out. We don't have anything in the category here, so there's nothing we can do about it. We're left to just do it the old-fashioned way of sitting and waiting. Could buy another level of car wash. Yeah, it does make $1 million sort of every few seconds, realistically. It feels like it's earning quite a bit more than the newspapers. Because this would have to cycle over 8 times by the time the car does 1 to make it worthwhile. Well, what I really want is $845 million so I can buy another level of movie studio. If I cut that time down, then long term we're going to get big money out of that. It is getting better. There's our 1.7 billion we needed. So I buy 1 level there. And we're nearly up to the next level as well. We'll be at movie studio level 20. Then we'll be at $1.8 billion per cycle. A little over even. Actually just under. So we'll buy another 3 levels of lemons to compensate, plus another 1. And then we watch numbers get bigger some more. Next up, our $17.36 billion will be allocated to getting the next level of the movie studio. 5 more levels for $6 billion. That's going to take it from $1.8 billion per cycle to 2.2. But it's also going to cut the time in half. Now it's only 13 minutes, just under. Which still sounds like a lot, but that's half of what it was. And for 2.2 billion, I will not complain with that. Some of the other ones could still be better. For $10 billion, we can get movie profits times 3, which seems like it'd be silly not to. Now we get $6 billion every cycle. That's going to be very good for us. Manager-wise, we'll definitely take Stephanie Spielberger, runs the movie studio, so we no longer have to touch that. If it's going to go up every 13 minutes, I'd rather not have to be here supervising it the whole time. We also had the ability to buy the next level of newspapers, which might be worth it. Not only would that increase their speed, but I think that would make everything better. It's every 3 or 4 seconds. It makes $100,000, so every 30 or 40 seconds, it would make $1 million. So it's not super quick, but I think upgrading that will speed up everything else. I just need that $14.9 billion. It'll help once the movie studios close. $6.7 billion in the bank isn't going to hurt anything. In the meantime, we can buy more levels of things if we want. I don't know what the best one to upgrade right now would be. I still feel like the biggest earners are somewhere here. The donut shop being 11.6 every 5 seconds is definitely good. If that's faster than 1/10 of this, then we know. Nope, the shrimp is definitely still stronger. Now, 10 of these and the time it takes this, really. That's actually a nice even comparison again. So this takes 135. This takes about 20. So 6 of those. So the hockey team is still actually better, according to my very quick mental tired math. So we'll upgrade that a little bit more. We'll buy another 4 levels of newspaper. We'll buy another 2 levels of lemons. Then we can't buy anything else except for more lemons. But we like the lemons. We're not going to exclude them. Everything is rolling along quite quickly now. Money's piling up. I remember when I thought $1 million a second was fast. Now we're averaging a great deal more. We could use more shrimps. There's 169 million. The money piles up so quickly just based on the first 4 or 5 businesses. But it takes colossal jumps when the next ones pile up. It'd be interesting if we could put them on pause and then we could see exactly what the lemons are doing for us to know if it's worth the upgrade. The dollars per second is what really matters. And when it's just showing zeros, it's very hard to say what it's actually doing for us. There's another level of car wash potentially. We could start buying that. Well, for $1.2 quadrillion, we need $1,200 trillion to be able to afford that. I think newspaper is going to be the one for us. Everything else is too far out of reach currently. Some of them aren't too far out of the way. Like $68 billion for a better donut shop would absolutely be worth it. It's just a big wait. This would be even better because the shrimp boat I think is maybe our best earner. We can always also get another 3 levels of that. 8 levels of newspaper. Probably actually the shrimp for now. That way we can go from 104.5 to $110 million per cycle. And again, that's only 23 seconds. So it makes up pretty quick. It takes about 200 seconds, 3 minutes to make $1 billion. So the hockey team is still better again. The hockey team is absolutely better. Maybe the hockey team is the best. I haven't actually sat this down and calculated it, but based on my mental math, hockey team's best. We just gotta wait and wait and wait for it. Its upgrade should be pretty big. If I could get this to level 50, it'd probably be better than the hockey team too. We will buy 4 levels of newspaper for 650 million. These are relatively cheap, so you should be able to incrementally creep this up without much issue. It's currently about $20,000 several times a second. It's closing 3 or 4 times per second probably. Creeping closer to properly 20,000. I am guesstimating and rounding a little bit, but that's close enough. We're not building a piano, we're putting people to sleep. All we need to do for that is just watch numbers get bigger and tell you about it. We have a lemonade stand and a newspaper stand. There's a car wash, a pizzeria, donuts, a shrimp boat, a hockey team. It's quite a mix. I have no idea how any of these things actually work. There we go. Something bigger closed, so the money jumped up. Could get another 4 levels of newspaper. I'll probably do that to start diminishing that number down. Because to buy the next level now, 12.5 billion. It's creeping closer. Bit by bit. Upgrades are expensive now. they're going to continue to trend that direction for a while. I don't know if we can get any more angels at this point. Only one. One angel with restart, so it's not worth it. We need a lot of angels to get a big boost. That means we need our money to start going. We could use a warp. I thought that would give us options. I feel like I've done that before, where it's supposed to say, okay, how long would you like to warp for? But now we jumped ahead a little bit. We got $315 billion. So we can spend that how we want. I think the movie studio would actually be good for 130 billion. I know it takes a long time, but now it's $13.4 billion, considerably quicker. I think we can also, actually we're waiting on the banks for the next one. We could level up the banks for basically, well, a large chunk of our money. I don't know if we want to do that yet. The pizzeria still takes a little under 2 seconds, I think, to close. So I don't know what I want to spend 185 billion on. They were about to get $13.4 billion more. That's not going to hurt anything. I do want to see how long this takes now. It's only 6.5 minutes. 6.5 minutes to make all that money. So it is maybe actually the best earner at this point. This will take an hour and 15. That would have to be such a big number to be worth it. Maybe we'll do the newspapers for 12 billion. That seems relatively cheap. The profit of, oh, that boosted the profit of lemonade stands. Does this show us that? Yeah, it tells you. So if we get 150 newspapers, car wash becomes ×2. Interesting. But the next would be almost $500 billion. So in the meantime, let's maybe spend $68 billion upgrading the donut shop. Now it's making $15.5 million every 3 seconds. That sounds about right. Every 3 seconds, $15 billion. So it'll make $300 million per minute. That's not bad. If we go ahead and upgrade the lemonade, we'll see what that will do for us. It just gets lemonade stands better profit. I think it speeds everything up though. $34.246 billion. Let's give it a try. Took it up to $1,800. Did everything else speed up? Maybe it didn't. Maybe I just imagined that. Now we only have $85.84 billion left over. Well, maybe buy the Dark Lord that runs banks for $10 billion. Now we don't have to click that in an hour and 14 minutes. Could also max buy banks. There's a lot of things we should buy. I still think movie studios are the best long term for us. 4 more levels of that would turn that number up. 16 levels of banks would also be big. We could also buy the oil company. That would be the most of the rest of our money. Not really sure which one we want. I'm going to do the movie studio. $13.4 billion per cycle becomes 14.5. We still have money left over. 5 more levels of banks. $1 billion becomes $6.5 billion. That will escalate really quickly. Aside from that, let's buy 4 more levels of shrimp boat. $110 to $117 million per cycle. The car wash will spend $350 million. Takes it from $162 to $163,000. Basically every second. So that works out pretty well. Money's going to go up a lot quicker now, especially once the big ones start cycling a little bit longer term. We absolutely have time for that. There's one more car wash. The lemons are getting slammed together again. We'll enjoy this a little bit. How peaceful. It's crazy that we saved up $22 billion, but there's still relatively little we can buy. Like I could buy 1 more level of movie studio. I think instead of that, we'll maybe go for 7 levels of hockey team to go from $1.164 to $1.3 billion per cycle. And then for the shrimps, 3 levels to go from $117 to $123 million per cycle. Even that will add up to a lot of extra value for us down the road. Saving up a modest $335 billion, we got a lot of options of things we can buy. Including a manager for the oil company for $100 billion. I don't think it's worth spending a third of our money for something we need to click on every several hours. Looking at next, we'll see if we can actually afford anything. We could buy the next level for banks. That would make them go quicker. That would cut that time down by a lot and also increase our earnings a lot. Do we want to wait that long to see the results? That's the only question. Investor-wise, we can get 4 angels with restart at this point, which isn't enough to make a big difference. I think the logical choice is probably to do the bank upgrade, because we can also get the profits times 3 on top of that. I think we can still afford that. So let's upgrade the bank. So from level 6 to 25. That's going to cost 140 billion, but it's going to take it from 6.5 billion per cycle all the way up to $27 billion per cycle. And it's going to cut the time down a lot. It's still not going to go off a lot, but it is going to go off. Upgrade-wise, we will do gold-plated vaults. That seems entirely necessary for a bank. $50 billion, triple the money. So now every time that closes, $80.6 billion. So in 30 minutes, we'll be $80 billion richer, which is 50% of our current value. Aside from that, we can max buy things. We can buy the oil company at this point. It's only 25 billion, so we kind of have to. For that, we got 25 gold. Now we'll start this going. This is going to take 10 hours. It does give $29 billion, so in 10 hours that will pay out. It's hardly worth putting the money into it right now, though. Buying the next level of it is going to be 1.6 trillion, so that's a little ways away. The most realistic next thing we could buy is going to be a newspaper upgrade. 493 billion. Actually, the shrimp boat, 374 billion, isn't that far away. That's probably going to be our next one. We'll give it another 24 levels right now for 135 billion. That'll take it from 123 million per cycle to 167. That's actually getting up there quite a ways. Hockey team can go up another 2 levels. Didn't make a huge difference, but it made enough of a difference that we'll feel that long term. At this point, I think we're going to use a warp because progress is slowing a little bit. So we did that. We made 963 billion, nearly $1 trillion in the bank suddenly. And with that, we can decide what else we want to spend our money on. I think the shrimp boat next level would be the obvious choice. It makes $167 million per cycle. Now it's 186, but it does it twice as fast. That was a lot of money. But it's twice as fast. Now it's every 12 seconds, so it'll make 186 million. The newspaper should get upgraded. I don't know if I care about oil profits times 3, at least not yet. We can buy that in like 9 to 10 hours when it gets closer. Manager-wise, I don't want to spend the money in the oil company either. It's just not really worth it. Not yet, at least. So we will upgrade the newspaper. 25 levels there. 493 billion is a little expensive, but we'll go ahead and do that. Profits a car wash times 2. So that boosted us over here. Car wash is 2 levels from level 100, but it needs to go... Oh, we would buy 98 to get it to the next level. It's at 102, so it's got to hit level 200 to level up. That's a little bit out of our scope right now. Investor-wise, we still only get 6 angels, so they don't show up super often. We need to decide what our next maneuver is going to be. We can max buy some things. Banks might be good to level up. The shrimp boat's obviously going to pay out pretty good. The hockey team, we're still a little ways away from anything next. $2 trillion, $1 trillion. $1 trillion isn't super out of the realm of possibility, but the wait for that is huge. $1 trillion wouldn't take super long to make. We can also use the warp right now should we choose to, and we're going to. We made $1 trillion. That is enough to get the bank. We can also, that's oil profit, which we don't really care about, but the bank is going to get an upgrade so it goes off quicker. $1 trillion spent will go from 80.6 billion to 160 billion. So that goes off considerably quicker. And it doubled its value, 80 to 160 billion. In 1 short minute, that's going to go up. We'll get $160 billion, which nearly doubles our money at this point. Everything else is just piling up. There's no need to wait. We did get the gold for accomplishing something. We might be able to use that for further warps at this point. I can't remember if that's how it works. We got 5 gold, so we could do nothing. It gives you just enough to realize it's useful, but not enough to actually pay for anything. No worries, we got time. Time is always free. So how much longer? We got 30 seconds left on the banks. We can sit there and wait patiently for that. The movie studio is also only a minute and a half away. That'll give us 14.5 billion. The numbers definitely get bigger. 1,800, 27,330, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 billion, 100 billion. So this will land in trillions if the rate continues that way. I think we're more or less adding a zero every time. Add a zero, but they slow down too. They go slower and slower and slower, but some of them are getting pretty quick. Like this, as we said earlier, $15 million every 2 seconds, or 7.5 million per second. They get better and better and better. Movie studio is winding down. Our banks did land finally. So up to 375 billion again. Oil company profits. It's just a shame how long that one takes. Otherwise, we consider it better. What's going to be our biggest earner? I think still these guys. 25 minutes. This is tempting now because we'll get 11 levels of this. I feel like this is also going to be a pretty good option, but we need hundreds of billions of dollars. We're going to buy 3 levels of banks, 161 to 170 billion. We'll buy 2 levels of movie studio, 14.5 billion to 15, 1 hockey, 1.36 to 1.388. The numbers do go up. We'll buy more car wash because that's getting upgraded. We also need to look at some of these. This would level 200 for the shrimp boat times 2. Everything times 2. Getting whatever this is to level 25. I'm not really sure what that means. Maybe we have to get this to level 25. And if that was the case, we would only need 1.6 trillion. So maybe the oil thing will be our next thing. But for now, all we can do is sit back and let the money pile up. We'll buy one more donut shop, 4 pizzas, and then we'll have a little pause. Sometime later, we've saved up another $935 billion. So we are creeping closer to $1 trillion again. It's definitely not enough to buy the next level of anything, but it is halfway there. Manager-wise, we can still buy Derek Plainview for the oil company. Upgrade-wise, oil company profits times 3. It's going to be a while before it touches down. And with that, I came to the realization that to do this would take a very, very long time. It was already taking a very long time to get to this point. So I went ahead and got some gold that we can use to buy warps, which we just used one of. So that's going to help keep the progress going so I don't have to take 4 months to finish this video in particular. I feel like it's better to get this video out, that we can get on to more sleep videos for everyone. I am enjoying making them and I think people are enjoying them too. So we'll work our way up, starting probably with the oil thing, because I think we said at that point we're going to get more things. Everything 25 times 2. So if I buy this, Universal Trade Show, boldly go where no capitalist has gone. It's time to sell the hottest gadgets this side of the Milky Way. No, we're going to wait on that. Now our oil derrick is getting $741 billion every several hours. What we can do though is instead buy better hockey team, $2 trillion. That takes it up to $2.2 billion per cycle. That's a lot quicker. It's crazy how much time we went through and we can only afford a few things really. Working our way up, the next thing we want to buy is oil derrick again. $741 billion for another 25 levels. We also got megabucks. Well, I'll actually start this going again too while we're at it. It's only going to take 38 minutes now, which is far better than where we started. Upgrade-wise, we'll probably want oil profit times 3 again. All profits times 3 for $1 trillion as well. So now everything jumped up in a big way. The oil derrick will now get us $13 trillion every 40 minutes. We can live with that. The banks give us $500 billion every 7 minutes. 45 billion every minute and a half for the movie studio. And so on and so forth. Things are going to get better. We could get 22 angels currently, which is not enough to make a big enough difference. And that's okay. And if we want to warp again, purchase a 10-pack of time warps for these. Is that a better way to do it? 50 for 10. I don't know what I bought before. It was somewhere here. It was 10 for 1 day. 10 got us 1 day. So 50 for 3 hours. I think I'd rather get the 1 day time warps. Those are going to be more important. So we just click on those every once in a while. And we instantly get money. We can unlock the moon for $100 trillion. I think we will, because that's going to be other things to play with as well. Before we head on over there, let's get things set up on Earth nicely. Hopefully the moon starts very cheap. I do believe it does. So if we want to buy the next level here, there's a few things we can buy. We'll work our way up, cheapest first. So the movie studio we can spend 10.7 trillion on. That'll take it from 45 billion to 80 billion every minute. That's going to add up quite quickly. Working our way up, newspapers again. $16.2 trillion investment. Took us up to 94,500 very quick. And it sped everything else up. This used to have a countdown of 2 seconds very briefly and then 1 and then done. Now it's going off 2 or 3 times a second. Working our way up from there, lemon time. $30 trillion to get that a boost up to 7,200. Speed of lemonade stand profits up. Upgrade wise, we can also get lemonade stand profits again or newspaper again. We can triple their income. That might be worth it at $100,000 rapid fire. Before doing anything, $57 trillion upgrading the bank, $512 billion to $967 billion. Nearly $1 trillion every couple of minutes. I feel like the Earth is in good hands currently. 77 angels on restart, so that's sitting well. I think now it's time to head on over to the moon. The moon will do good things for us. Doesn't he look happy? So we'll go ahead and jump through that. We got some new stuff for him to wear. I think while on the moon. Specifically, I don't know if we need to worry about that too much. So we could buy some moon boots, $1 each. $1 gets us $1 more. We got to get $525 to start the upgrades. It's nice to have something new to work on. Moon boots. So we upgrade that. Now we get $2 per press. Then there's a gravity booth, the Payday clone, Moon Express, oxygen bar, Helium-3 farm, a cheese mine, all the way up to a giant laser one day. We do like a giant laser. Okay, we're going to buy a few levels of upgrades. Now we're getting $4 per press. So only have to press it twice before we have more than enough for another upgrade. We get $5 per press. Upgrades cost $6.38. $6 per press. Upgrades cost $7. Now they're about even, 7 and 7. Now I get $8 per press and it costs $7 to upgrade. So our earnings are higher than the actual upgrades. They won't stay that way for a very long time. We need, I think, $1 trillion to buy the giant laser on this one. So we'll work our way up there eventually. We'll buy a few more of these and we'll upgrade this a couple more times. That actually took a big jump up. Profit of moon shoes 3.5 times. I didn't mean to level it up, but by happy accident we did. Now it's $56 per cycle, so we've easily afforded the gravity booth. We'll start it going. It's worth $21 by default, so we'll upgrade that as soon as we can. $42 per pole. Now it's $63, so it's now worth more than the moon boots. So we'll just let them keep rolling like that. It is a little bit slower for sure. $84. It'll jump up over $100 pretty soon. And that's going to be some better income, considering the Payday clone is $3,000. It won't take that long to get that. And this might also level up fairly quickly. We're going to buy some more shoes all the way up to Profit of Moon Shoes times 4. It really levels up quickly. It really levels up quickly, actually. Look at it go. So it's up to level 40. Profit of Moon Shoes went up again, so it's now $2,500 per pole. So it's actually really, really valuable. I'll buy the Payday clone right away. That gets $2,000. Takes 30 seconds though. So we'll be sure to keep upgrading things. We're going to start max buying this. So we can buy 10 more levels of moon shoes. They're worth $3,700 every couple seconds. Profit of moon shoes times 5. It really goes up quickly. It's $36,000 per pole now. There's something odd about that. I'm not complaining. 25 levels. Do I have the moon boosted or something strange? I don't understand why we're making so much money. I'm not complaining. It just seems strange that I can pull this once and have enough for the Moon Express. And considering how quickly the moon shoes go, they cycle, it's really to our benefit. We'll buy another 13 levels. It's nearly leveled up again. Get a few more levels there. $315. All right, moon shoes again. I think it's going to be 160 where it levels up again. Is that true? 160 times 5.5. So if I touch this again, it goes up to $284,000 per cycle. Well, this is good. I don't know why it's so big. I don't remember if that's a particular thing for the moon. The clones are also going up a lot. Maybe because by the time you finish Earth, you want to be in a bit of a hurry to keep going here on the moon. And we are to some degree. Okay, we'll buy another 15 levels there. We're up to $330,000 every couple seconds. Should probably also buy the manager. Buzz Cobbler runs Moon Shoes for $750. He is not getting a good deal considering how valuable that business is. Gracie Stone runs Gravity Boots, $22,500. Dolly Parton runs Payday Clones for $150,000. Jean-Luc Turinga runs Moon Deliveries, $1.85 million. We can afford that with how much our money is going up. We can also get Moon Shoes profit times 3 more. Soft Soulful Music with the Gravity Booth, profits times 3. Clone profit times 3 for $1.3 million. Now we'll buy another 33 levels here. So instead of getting $1 million, we're getting $1.1 million every couple seconds. $1.2 million. $1.25 million. So we should probably keep going. We're going to buy the oxygen bar. These get expensive quickly, so maybe this is why the money got so quick, so fast. We'll buy a whole bunch of levels of this. That's going to level that up. So that's already up to $4,600 every couple seconds. 30 levels of clones. That leveled them up. They're at $30 million every couple seconds. Let's make that $35 million. They go every 30 seconds. No, it's $450 million. The numbers here get very big, very quick. And I am not complaining, not one little bit. We'll buy 6 levels of these. They get $1 million every 45 seconds. We need a manager. We need everything to go up. I thought 1.25 million was a lot, but then these guys jumped up to 450 million. We'll buy some rockets. Hopefully these will start to level up quickly. We'll buy another 22 levels of those. So Moon Deliveries times 3. They're up to 48,000. I don't know if I want to buy Helium Farm yet. These things leveling up seems to be doing a lot. We could buy the next level of the phone booth, or also this. This is already at $1 million, so let's upgrade that to 23 million. We do want the oxygen bar manager for 4.3 million. Saves me having to touch one more thing. 10 more levels of the phone booth took it up to $10,000, which is not nearly as good as the prior Moon Shoes for 1.2 million. But we won't complain. Moon Express profits times 3 for 6 million. We already have $500 million. So oxygen bar profit, even a helium profit, even though we haven't even unlocked the helium farm. That doesn't matter. We can also get the next level of the clones. $450 million currently, now $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion every 30 seconds. This seems like it's more money than Earth already. It is the moon, to be fair. So let's upgrade the Moon Shoes. They're now $10 million every 2 seconds. They're not as quick as the clones, but nothing is going to be for a while. We're going to get the Helium Manager, even though we haven't unlocked the Helium yet. You could just sit there and look busy for a while. Okay, for $1 billion, we're going to upgrade the Moon Deliveries. That's now 500,000 every few seconds. These get so lopsided. The clones make 1.5 billion every 30 seconds. Nothing else is going to come close to that. Let's try the oxygen bar. $376 million to upgrade it, and it makes $2 billion every 20 seconds. So it suddenly jumped way on up there. We will buy 1 level of the Helium 3 farm and the cheese mine and get them started. That one takes 3 minutes. The cheese farm takes 10 minutes. Can we upgrade them already? We actually can. The cheese mine profit times 3. Figure we might as well. Buying the next level for that is 135 billion. So row number 1 went down fairly easy. Row number 2, gonna be harder. We're gonna have to work a little bit at it. But maybe not a terrible amount. We can start to max buy. 25 levels here. 7 levels there. $98 million might upgrade pretty big. Can we buy the next level of anything else yet? We can actually buy the next level of cheese. So 10 minutes should become about 5 minutes. No, it just increased the profit. It didn't increase the speed. So we get $4 billion every 10 minutes from those, which is considerable. We'll buy maybe 12 levels of this one to see what exactly that does for us. It jumped up to 150 million every 3 minutes, so that's not terrible. I still like the clones because 1.5 billion every 30 seconds is good. And now it's 1.8 billion. We'll buy another phone booth as well. The best part is, while we're working away on all of this, the Earth is piling up money too, so we can jump back and forth. By the time we're done figuring out one area, we go back to the other. Things will slow down just a touch here. So we're going to need lots of billions for the next levels of things. The oxygen bar for 12 billion, it won't be that far away. Thanks to our clone technology. And if we max buy it now, we get another 21 levels, so this will go $2.1 billion every so often. This turn it up to 2.25 billion. I'm not going to worry about the other things just yet. They got to be really, really good for me to bother to buy them. Moon Shoes is now 3.64 quadrillion very abruptly. Seems kind of odd, but we'll accept that. So the next level of the oxygen bar is only 12 billion. We'll be there quite quickly. We just got to get the clones to cycle 6 times. Do investors count here? Nope, investors are unique to the moon. Upgrades, all profits times 9 would be good. We just need $10 trillion to afford that. We're a little ways away from that. But we're on our way. Everything happens eventually. Everything's going up as quick as it can. The clone technology is really the only one we want to need. $10 million for the moon shoes, $148 million for the, I can't remember what that is, a helium farm, I think. It's hard to show what helium looks like when you're farming it. And then there's our cheese factory or whatever this is. This one isn't going to be super expensive by itself, so we'll save up for it as we can. More importantly is going to be probably the oxygen, because it's a quicker cycle for lots of money. I've got a good feeling about it. So let's buy it now. It's now 46 billion. That went up times 12. 46 billion every so often. So let's maybe jump back across to the Earth. The Earth has earned 5.58 trillion while we were gone. So that's a good sign. Investors has lit up 78, so we would actually get something of a bonus. Still not quite there yet. I still don't want to buy the manager. We could still get lemonade profits times 3. I think we probably should. That's going to be 20 trillion. That's half of our money, but we'll buy it. And hopefully that just makes things go up even more. It is $21,000 at light speed. So I don't know if that cycles 10 times a second, 100 times, 1,000 times. I just don't know. Everything seems to be moving on up here nicely. We'll use a warp here. We'll go back and use one of the one-day warps for 10 gold. Did it work? It didn't work because it gives us the big announcement. 669 trillion, we'll call it. Even that, for all of that, we only get 2 different upgrades. Could also get newspaper profits, car wash, pizza delivery profits times 3. Not worth it. I think we'll send some things to the next level. In particular, probably the oil. So if we buy 50 levels of this, it jumps it up to 26 trillion. We got some free gold there. We'll start this going again. So $26 trillion every 10 minutes. That's much quicker, especially when we use things like a warp. The Angel jumped up to 147 as well. We don't really need to warp again. Let's jump back across to the moon for a moment. See what we can do over here. We got $103 billion. So that really escalated quickly while we were gone. How did we end up with 103 billion? Oh, I guess our oxygen bar, of course. $46 billion adds up pretty quick. So when we want to buy the next level for things, we can. Which will probably be our cheese farm. Because that's going to jump up to 40 billion. We can actually do it again. Now it's 400 billion. It looks like it's going to go off every 10 minutes or so. That's the kind of money we could live with. Let's also buy the amusement park. Start it going. That takes 50 minutes. It does start at 1.1 billion, so that's going to add up. And that's just good. Now, if we max buy things, there's not really a lot of good things to take advantage of, except maybe the clones, which is a fairly marginal increase at this point. What we need is our oxygen bar to keep leveling up. To buy the next level for it, though, is 29.8 trillion. Little ways away. We can buy the next level of this. the phone booth. So that jumps up to $30,000 and it has doubled its value. Nowhere near worth it. It's only 30 grand. Eventually it will be, but it's not yet. So let's jump back over to managers real quick. Do we want someone running the cheese mines? We probably do. Yeah, for $400 billion, we don't want to leave that unwatched. A $33 billion manager should probably be pretty good for that value. $395 billion every 10 minutes. So we'll leave that running. We'll go check in on Earth again. Looks like there's some orange stuff lit up. We can't buy any next things yet, but we do have 408 trillion. So it's probably about time we get Derek Plainview, whatever his name is. Do we want newspaper? These are so expensive. But we'll do it. Newspaper delivery profits times 3. So they're up to $283,000 at light speed. That might really add up a lot. How are the investors doing? Still only 147 angels. Can't really next buy anything yet. We can warp our way along though. 1 day warp. 5.36316 quadrillion. That's not terrible for us either. Now we can next buy some things. So 5.6 quadrillion, we can get, actually I think all of these. Pizza, another 96 levels, going from $8 million to $15 million. Profit times 2. 1.2 trillion for the car wash, 92 levels. Bought it up to $2 million at light speed. That might actually be considerable. And the newspapers, $500 billion. It's $324,000 at light speed. Now we should probably also, probably the donut shop. The pizzas actually, they're $50 million, considerably quicker than the one below it. So let's start there for 500 trillion. Then we'll buy the car wash for automatic vacuums because that's the only thing we can afford. Now the money should trickle upwards. 376 angels as well. That'll work. Now we'll jump back over to the moon to see if anything is piled up there in the past minute. We did have something available. So we have a few things available. The helium farm, we can actually see what they do, I think. Helium farm or the delivery. So we get times 7 on the helium farm or times 3 on the Moon Express. So this is the bigger number that we want to get bigger again. So we'll spend $131 billion here. It now gets $2 billion every 3 minutes. So our income definitely did go up a lot. It's 102 billion here, which will be good when we get it. It's only a small increase, but we still need them all. Can we buy the werewolf colony now? We can't yet. That's very sad. We need $173 billion. That's just a little bit out of our range still. Do we want the amusement park guy? No, that's going to take 46 minutes anyway. We can do a little warp here to boost us ahead. 1 day time warp, $154 trillion. We do get a lot more bang for our buck because this should be worth 70. This should be worth 140. But we don't want to get too carried away too quickly anyway. So we got werewolf colony. I think we hit next on that straight away actually. So we got level 25 werewolf colony. We better get that started. It does take 4 hours. We're going to buy the next level of cheese colony for 7.4 trillion. So now it's going to be 3.9 trillion every 10 minutes. Next on the list will be the phone booths, 4.2 trillion. That makes $89,000, so not really worth it. 129, let's call it 30 trillion for the next oxygen bar. That now makes $2 trillion every 30 seconds or so. That's going to be a good one. 102 billion for the space delivery. We could actually buy that a few times. So we will. 7.9 trillion for another level there. Now it's 9.1 million every couple seconds. The clones need an upgrade. 464 billion. They now make $9.4 billion every few seconds. The oxygen bar for 2 trillion, though, is the big one. We get all profits times 9 for 10 trillion. That's actually really good. So now it gets $18 trillion. $18 trillion every 30 or 40 seconds. The investors are starting to pile up here too. I think we could probably get the $55 billion manager. Then also Mike Jameson Wolf, $1.5 trillion. He's $11 trillion. Dr. Bad News for giant lasers. We'll buy him anyway. We don't have giant lasers yet. We could. It is only $1 trillion. We get 5 gold back. Isn't that lovely? So this is going to take 12 hours to do. It will give us $3 trillion, but for 12 hours, it's going to be a minute. Next, buying things. We do have some up for $1 trillion. 146 trillion here. That's not as far away as it used to be. We could also do a little warp to get things going again. Just one day. We did a little off-screen grinding, and wouldn't you know it, we've saved up enough. So I think we'll start with 146 trillion upgrade here. That's now 261 billion. Oxygen bar would be nice to level up, but we got to work with what we can. We do have $81 quadrillion, so that doesn't hurt one little bit. We'll start with the clones again. They're 1.5 quadrillion, so they're $127 billion every couple seconds. We got to start with the low quadrillions. Moonshoes for 3.6 quadrillion. They're getting 1.1 billion every couple seconds. Literally. We'll get better phone booth. 8.7 quadrillion. That boosts up to 2.6 million. It's still quite weak comparatively. 13 quadrillion here. This jumps up to 6.64 trillion. It's just very slow still. We need everything to go quicker. Oh, this is only 269 trillion. That's really cheap in comparison than 3.667. So this will get us $200 trillion every 2 hours currently, which is quite slow. Between these two, we're definitely going to upgrade the cheese factory. It's already at $36 trillion per cycle. Now it's 355 trillion. That only takes a couple minutes. 355 trillion is a lot. So that only has to go off 3 times and it's over $1 quadrillion. Angels are up to 1,300 as well. And there's all the upgrades I'm forgetting about. Amusement park profits times 3. Werewolf colony times 3. Giant laser times 3. Moonshoe profit times 3. Gravity booth times 3. Payday clone times 3. We got 30 quadrillion, so we can just keep going. Moon Express profit times 3. Oxygen bar times 3. Helium times 3. Cheese mine times 3. Amusement park times 3. I'm going to jump down to all profits times 9 too for 7 quadrillion. Also, angel investor effectiveness plus 1% for 13 quadrillion. Then we buy werewolf times 3 and laser times 3 again. Now we need 500 quintillion in order to buy almond milk. Almond milk. But things have jumped up a lot now. Werewolf colony makes $16 quadrillion. My cheese mine makes $9.6 quadrillion. In fact, it's about to, so our money's going to go up a lot. It's going to go up so much that it may never come down again. So the angels are 3% bonus, so if we started again, we would get almost a 4,000% bonus. Which would be considerable considering how much money we're already making. You could just never have too much of a good thing. Let's jump back over to Earth for a moment. $33 trillion while we've been gone, which I don't think is enough for anything. I think it's going to be considerably more than that for most things. That's kind of sad. How are the angels doing? 377, so the moon actually jumped quite a ways ahead. Earth is slower than the moon. So what we'll go ahead and do is buy another one of these. It might actually be more worth it to buy 1 day of time warp, because within that we'll get the upgrades. So if you did a 1 day time warp, upgraded, then did a 1 day again, it would be far better than a 7 anyway. Probably. $5.366 quadrillion, which still isn't enough. We could have waited for a whole day and wouldn't have gotten a single next on anything. We do get these. We have enough for either the hockey team or shrimp and donut. So the hockey team is 6.7 billion every couple seconds, which is definitely what we want to upgrade. It's more than the other one. So now it makes $20 billion every, 6 seconds? Let's have a look. Yeah, every 6 seconds is $20 billion. That'll add up nicely. We'll go back to the moon where we can make some easy progress. Relatively speaking, so we can max buy things if we want. $15.2 quadrillion. Investors are still there, so let's do a little warp here to push things ahead a little bit as well. We'll make 4.9 quintillion, basically $5 quintillion. That's gonna help buy some things. We want to be careful how we spend this money. The werewolf takes so long. We're gonna buy that though, because that jumped up to 65 quadrillion. We'll buy the moon thing for 48 quadrillion because that seems like basically free in comparison. Investors are 10,000, so we're getting to the point where we do have to consider that. Because everything gets more expensive. I think we'll maybe do this. We can actually use 20 gold to not restart if we want to. So I think we'll do that. That'll help boost us. 10,600 angels for us. So now things should be considerably higher than they were before. So this one's making us 6.3 trillion. The clone's going to make us 1 quadrillion every 12 seconds. So now is a good time to use a warp. 1.7 sextillion. I didn't think we'd get to these numbers this big this fast. No complaints. We don't need more managers. How are investors doing already? There's 189,000. So they kind of spiral out of control. Don't be afraid to start over though, it's quite exhilarating. Well, we will at some point. We really don't need to yet. We need to decide how to spend our 1.7 sextillion. But if you have anything that's relatively cheap, we'll take advantage. I think the clones need to get leveled up again for 5.3 quintillion. That's really cheap. Boosted them up to $4.4 quadrillion. They got triple the money. The werewolves could go up again, 9.8 quintillion. Went to the sextillion, so yeah, anything in the quintillions is pretty easy to spend. Phone booths can go up. They now make 80 billion per cycle. The oxygen bar actually can go up. It now makes $105 quintillion. That was a huge jump. That was 333 times multiplier. $105 quintillion is a lot to make every once in a while. So actually, if that goes up 3 times, we'll have the same amount of money we have now. And considering we just waited for like 3 days to get here, that's a good sign. So we'll spend $172 quintillion here on our helium farm. That jumped up to $94.89 quadrillion every 30 seconds or so. Space deliveries. The next one of those costs 1.7 septillion. They make 51 trillion. That sounds like a lot until you look at what's below it. It makes 105 quintillion. So it's much, much bigger. Could spend 1.2 sextillion upgrading the moon lasers. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We get 5 gold. And that makes $290 quintillion, but it takes an hour and 22 minutes. The oxygen bar is going off quickly though. $105 quintillion every 3 seconds. So I'm glad I upgraded the moon laser. I didn't realize that was going to be as good as it was. All profits times 9 while we're at it. Don't see why we wouldn't do that. We buy more werewolves, 1.8 sextillion, so they're worth 3.3 sextillion every 5 minutes. Did you take 5 minutes? So the oxygen bar is actually much better. It'll make that much in a matter of seconds, really. The theme park, we could buy 80 levels of that for 3.9 sextillion. It'll make $25 quintillion every minute. Angel investors, we could get 563,000. You can see it jumps up pretty big every time we do upgrade it. Numbers are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. They're already up to so big, like 10 sextillion. Many things just simply don't exist anywhere in the universe. That's a real big number. So I think we'll go ahead and let it sit for another day. So we made $30 septillion. I thought the number would be a little bigger. This is still perfectly reasonable though. Maybe the werewolves need their upgrade then, another 50 levels, so 336 sextillion. They now make 12.7 sextillion. Upgrades are also pretty important. Like the oxygen bar is still a big earner, so we can jump down and be sure to get that. Times 3 for the oxygen bar. All profits times 9 as well. Angel investor effectiveness. We had that for a moment, I think. That's okay. We get 25 sextillion dollars every couple of seconds. So now we do need to be a little bit careful again how we spend it. We have 19 septillion. You got to start to read carefully to make sure you're getting the right thing. So sextillions we can spend pretty easily. So even the cheese thing makes us 2.5 sextillion every couple of seconds. Don't want to spend septillions if I can help it. 17 sextillion for the clones though. They're up to 1.3 quintillion dollars, which actually strangely is an irrelevant amount currently. 37 sextillion dollars to upgrade this. 23 trillion dollars. I need to look to see if this is, well, 1.4 septillion. 1.7 septillion is easy to spend. We've got 19 septillion, we'll buy it. I was hoping that would have a bigger effect. It really didn't. Investor-wise, we could actually get 26 million angels at this point. So we will. We'll do 20 gold, that way we don't need to restart. And already we instantly got 20 million, 34 million angels back. Because the numbers got bigger. Our earnings are huge. The werewolves now give us 279 septillion dollars. And they're probably what we want to upgrade for 62 septillion. So then they'll give us 1 octillion every 10 minutes. And octillion is a big number. The helium farm also can get upgraded, 202 septillion. It now gives us 200 sextillion. The phone booth too, done. We're up to 214 quadrillion dollars every second. Probably several times a second at this point. Upgrades we're going to have to get caught up on. Gravity booth times 3, clones times 3, Moon Express times 3, helium times 3, cheese times 3, amusement park times 3, werewolves, lasers, and then angel effectiveness another 1%. So things are even bigger. The 4 octillion for the werewolf farm is pretty good. 83 septillion every couple of seconds here is better. This one's pretty good actually. Let's upgrade this also. So it's now times 8. 26 septillion dollars every couple minutes. The oxygen bar is still far and away the best. I really should actually max buy this. I think this will make a pretty big difference. Just giving everything a look over to make sure this is probably the best choice. The werewolves are about to be done though. That 4 octillion is going to be nice. Should I upgrade this instead perhaps? Yeah, let's spend all of our money right here because we're about to replace it. We went from 4 to 4.4 octillion. We can still have money for the oxygen bar. This now makes 121 septillion every couple of seconds. So actually this will only take 8 cycles to make octillion dollars. So this will go off quickly. So it'll do this in 20 seconds to make an octillion, which is definitely quicker than the werewolves. So we made the right choice there. Now we're going to see if we can buy the next level of anything. We can't. Things do get expensive. We can also start to sacrifice angels. So we get 26 million, so we get all profits times 3 if we want to sacrifice some. Which we do. Do the clones make us any money? Not anymore. If it could boost the oxygen bar, we would. But we really can't right now. Werewolves can actually go up though. We're up to 17 octillion dollars. So werewolves now make 42 octillion. Every 15 minutes. They really don't go up very often, do they? 663 million angels if we want to restart. We better go check on the Earth. I feel like we're getting distracted on the moon. There's another 37 trillion. Which doesn't feel like a lot. It's only 513 angels. So we should probably help it along too. Let's give 24 hours of warp. 5.5 quadrillion dollars, which again isn't really enough to buy much. We can get donuts and shrimp times 3. Shrimp times 3 would maybe actually add up because that would start giving billions there. We still need to do better though. Quadrillion, we just spent 3 quadrillion dollars. We spent nearly half our money doing that. Investors are still staying the same. That would be a considerable boost, but I think we can do better. We're basically just going to have to let the Earth run itself for a while. We've got Moon to attend to. Moon will always be our friend. Every time I look at the Moon, it's ready for an upgrade. 10 octillion dollars to upgrade this one. Before doing that, Let's see what else we can do. Do you want to try and upgrade payday clones? Would that be worth it? No, it's only 6 So they're just offering me the angels. Investors are up to 850 million. We currently have 26 million, and they're already doing a lot for us. Let's upgrade this, so it's giving us 6.5 sextillion. We're maybe going to claim the angels now, just so we get a big boost. We got the gold, so we can do it instantly anyway. So we already have 150 million angels back again. But our income will have gone up a lot. So even the amusement park is making us 2.7 octillion. It's funny because these numbers are going to seem small again soon, even though they're the biggest numbers like in the universe. We're operating on a galactic scale. It's $12.8 octillion dollars every time the oxygen bar finishes. And the investors are already up to 1.8 billion. That's a lot of angels. We should be able to sacrifice more angels if we want. For better things again. Angel upgrades do get expensive, so I don't know if I want to sacrifice any. We need oxygen bar. I would sacrifice angels for the oxygen bar, but we're not quite there yet. We can unlock the easy upgrader. We gotta go back to the upgrades and see about the angels. So oxygen bar for 666 million angels. We're very close. It would triple its profits. It would do good things for us. Everything's getting very expensive. It's making 1.3 septillion. We can upgrade it. I don't know how big it's going to be. Only times 3. So maybe what we'll do instead is wait 24 hours to get $540 nonillion. Then we can afford some more things. Probably what we want to do is... Do we want 109 billion? We probably do. We'll take 109 billion angels. We'll claim that for 20 gold. Angels have been claimed. Now into the upgrades. We can get more out of our oxygen bar release for 666 million angels. We can easily spend that. 222,000 angels for moon shoes. 3 million for the gravity booth. 4 million for payday clone. Moon express for 55 million. 7 billion angels for holy ground. It's starting to get expensive. If we start losing too many angels, our income starts to go down again. We can sacrifice some, but we don't want to go too many. We're making $4.7 nonillion off of the oxygen bar anyway, so that's okay. Our big laser also for 813 octillion, basically 1 nonillion, we want to upgrade. That's given to give us 10 gold, which is nice. It gives us 435 nonillion. That might have also helped some other things. It also boosted that ahead. Okay, this is 2 nonillion for the werewolves. We'll upgrade that, so it gives us 610 nonillion. We could actually do this again. We're going to hold off on that for just a second. We'll put the phone booth up for 1 nonillion. It's 1.34 sextillion at light speed. 132 octillion we can spend. It gives 4.2 septillion at light speed. That's maybe actually significant. 201 octillion for the clones, so they're up to 700 septillion dollars several times a second. Oxygen bar, another 50 levels. So we have $1 decillion. What can we get for that? Lots of things. We want to get off angels. We're not on angels. Oxygen bar profit times 3. Yes. All profits times 9 for 975 nonillion. Yes, also. So the oxygen bar is 126 nonillion dollars. Basically every second. That's not horrible income. 321 nonillion. 390 nonillion. That makes 18.5 decillion dollars. The werewolves are good. We'll upgrade the helium farm as well, so it makes 840 octillion dollars every couple seconds. Nonillion is still the best. My oxygen bar is the only thing we ever need. I'm not going to sacrifice 1 billion angels. We will spend some money just upgrading times 3. These are getting expensive, but we're making money so stupidly quick at this point that it doesn't matter. Werewolf times 3. Giant laser times 3 for 800 nonillion. Angel investor effectiveness plus 1%. I don't know if that works retrospectively, but it might. Did our income go up? It's hard to tell. It's been going up so much. I just lose track of the numbers. Yeah, it looks like it did because this is up to $160 million a second. Oh, we can actually buy the next level of it too. So that's only going to go up. 945 decillion per second. Oxygen bar times 4,444. So we're now up to 13 undecillion, which is enough to buy more, basically whatever we want. So we can get oxygen bar times 3 further again from that. Then we can get moon shoes, gravity booth, payday, moon, helium, cheese, amusement park, werewolf, giant laser will return for us shortly, but all of those times 3. Okay, there's giant laser times 3. We only need 100 undecillion to get profits times 9. We're making 3 undecillion in less than a second, so it's going to add up quickly to that. Other than that, we probably want to upgrade the werewolf again. Although we don't really want to spend that money yet. We want to get all profits times 9. We'll spend the money to make the money. All profits times 9. So we're now 25 undecillion per second out of my oxygen bar, which is big. So we'll upgrade the werewolves. They're 6.2 undecillion, basically never. The cheese mines are up to 8.4 decillion every couple seconds. That's actually considerable. Those are still in nonillion, so we don't have to care. Lots of things are still 197 undecillion for an upgrade here. 2.3 octillion at light speed. Must be good. Angels, we could jump from 109 billion to 186 trillion. And I think we will. We'll spend 20 gold to do that. More angels for us. So now the oxygen bar is 45 duodecillion every second. But you can tell how expensive things are getting. We can't instantly buy everything. Oxygen bar profits times 5 is important, no? It's carrying us. 223 duodecillion. Now we have 3 tradecillion. So we could definitely spend that. We can spend 2.7 tradecillion here even. This is making $20 nonillion many times per second. The werewolves are also going to jump up. They're up to 39 duodecillion. They still take a long time, but we sort of have time. Moon shoe times 5, gravity times 5, payday times 5, moon express times 5. We should also sacrifice some angels given we have 190 trillion. So helium times 3, cheese times 3, amusement park times 3, werewolf times 3, giant laser times... Oh, I'm glad that actually warned us. That would have been expensive. We could get all profits times 3, but we'd use 2/3 of our angels, so we'd lose a big chunk of our income. But we'll do that in the future. We get helium profits times 5 for 9 tradecillion. That seems like a worthwhile thing. Investors have jumped up to 22 quadrillion already. Luckily, we can just go ahead and warp ourselves ahead a little bit to get 27 quados, which isn't necessarily enough to buy a lot of different things. But we can get all profits times 9 for 1 quado. Then we get cheese times 5, amusement park times 5, werewolf times 5, giant laser times 5. That'll help keep the good times rolling. Werewolf is about to touch down, so let's level it up again. Makes 18 tradecillion, which is probably one less than a quado. Undecillion, we're now at the 9 duodecillion for the amusement park. That goes up fairly often. 1.4 duodecillion very often on the helium farm. We'll upgrade those two as well. Undecillion and decillion. Those will add up. Angels are up to nearly 1 quintillion at this point. So we got a nice cycle going. Everything's really piling up on us. I had to step away for a few minutes, so the money piled up naturally. That landed us at 37.7 quados, which I don't think is enough to buy any next upgrade. The investors are at 900, let's call it 1 quintillion. So we could go from 190 trillion to 1 quintillion, and I think we'd better do that. That's going to boost our income again. So the angels are already piling up. There's nearly a quintillion here for us already again. Income should jump up nicely to the point where now we're unlocking something. It took us 10 seconds. I stepped away for over an hour. No progress. We do the angel thing. 10 seconds later, we got what we need. The laser beam is only 60 minutes away from popping off. We could level it up. I think it probably should. So we're going to spend 330 quados, like legitimately half of our money, upgrading that. But now this will give us 23 quados, which it only takes us a few seconds to make. That's okay, mostly because our oxygen bar is making 9.9 quados at light speed. So suddenly we're up to 1.2 quindecillion, which is a number I don't find myself saying very often. And that's saying something, because of all the people you'll know in your life, very few people will ever say quindecillion. Unless you're some kind of mathematician or something that works with such large numbers. I don't know what kind of person would even say that. It might even be a made-up number. I don't actually know. 252 quados will buy us another level up here. So this will go from 4.4 to 22 undecillions. And those are going at light speed. Our werewolves need a little upgrade. 2.8 quindecillion, so the most expensive thing we bought yet. They now make 314 quados. They do it every couple minutes, so our oxygen bar is still far and away the best. So we could already get 10 times the amount of angels. We don't want that yet. The quick buy upgrades for 1 billion angels will do, because 1 billion angels is nothing. We won't even see that difference. We do need to buy as many safe angels as you can for 134 trillion. We'll do that. That gave us big increases again. So now the oxygen bar is at 29.7 quados. So that's going to add up quickly. Manager-wise, can't really do much there. There's 250 if we get everything. That's times 2. We basically just need the laser. But to buy another 100 levels there, we need 134 vigintillion. We can't even buy another 10 levels there. Things get expensive quickly. We better go check on the Earth. It's been a minute since we've been there. 309 trillion, so more than it has been. Still not enough to buy anything. Investors still aren't adding up quick enough. We might have to do the angel thing. Maybe we should do that. Let's claim 629 angels because we don't actually have to restart. Thanks to our purchasing power. Now we should skip through 24 hours. Now that we got a little bit more earnings. One day time warp here. 10. So we got, was that 98 quadrillion? So that's going to kickstart this again. Now we're able to afford some things. For 50 quadrillion, we can get all profits times 3. Do we start there? Let's start there. All profit times 3. Now we got to decide what the biggest earner is. I'm pretty sure it's still the hockey. So for 28 quadrillion, legitimately over half our remaining money, we can upgrade that. Now we make $2 trillion every 3 seconds. That's actually big. That's a lot quicker. Aside from that, let's do the shrimp maybe. We're going to spend $13 quadrillion, but it's going to go from 83 billion every 2 seconds to 170 billion every 3 seconds. I almost read that backwards. Probably already done that a few times. Now the money's going to pile up. So that's going up probably every second. So every 5, 6, 7 seconds, that's going to make $1 trillion. The trillions are going to pile up pretty quickly now. Also the donut shop, 6 quadrillion, basically all of our remaining money goes in. This now makes $13.94 billion at light speed. That's going to be big. So the angels will start to pile up again. We could do some of these. It shows cash per second is nice. We have to give up angels to do some of these though. I don't know if I want to do that yet. We're going to skip through a little bit more time now that we got this upgraded. That gave us 345 quadrillion, which gives us a few more options. Still got to decide what the best one is. I think the movie studio maybe, because it's only going to take 22 seconds. It's going to cost 60 quadrillion. We'll do that though. Now it makes 8 trillion and it's going to do that much quicker. The trillions are going to pile up now. It only takes 12 seconds. So we got to decide next. We're going to do the newspapers. 17 quadrillion to level that up. It makes $18 million at light speed. 26 quadrillion for the lemons. They make 5.3 million at light speed. Probably insignificant at this point. The banks, 129 quadrillion. They go from 48 trillion to 96 trillion. They're going to do that every couple minutes. Upgrade wise, could make the angels more effective. It would actually be a pretty considerable upgrade. We could also do the movie studios, which wouldn't be bad, or the banks. Could do both. Okay, let's do the movie studios, the banks. We're not going to touch the oil yet, because the oil takes so long to upgrade to come around anyway that it's not really going to be worth it. Everything else, however, like the banks are now up to 289 trillion, and they only take a couple minutes. So they'll make quadrillions of dollars all by themselves, and they're going to have to, because we have 95 quadrillion, we can't do a thing with it. 2,580 angels if we want to restart, which we don't yet. We want to do a little time skip again, so we're going to wait patiently for another full day. They get nearly $1 quintillion. That's going to allow us to buy some more things. So we should probably get angel investor effectiveness. I don't really care about the oil profits yet. Maybe I will soon though. 277 quadrillion there. We got megabucks. So we get $3.667 quadrillion every 3 minutes or something down here in the oil. Newspapers are going to level up again. They make 27.81 million at light speed. Investor wise, we could get 5,000 angels. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll claim that for 20 gold. Our earnings just went up in a pretty big way again. So we see the quadrillions ticking upwards. And that's good. Earth is in a good place right now. We're going to jump back over to the moon. We're going to stop misclicking and we're going to jump back over to the moon. Where good things happen. While we were gone, we made 51 quintillion. Which is not currently enough to buy anything. But it doesn't necessarily have to be enough to buy anything. Because when we want more, we can always just jump into the angels. So we get about 1 quintillion worth of angels. We could get 38 quintillion angels. And that number is going up pretty quick. The best way to do this is probably going to be to do another time skip. So we'll sit here and wait patiently for another day. We got 16 sextillion dollars. And that's instantly enough for new things. So I think we'll focus on quintillion because I think that's higher than tridecillion. But I'm not actually sure. Yeah, I think this is like 3 decillion. This one will be 5 decillion. Though that is the cost of the upgrades. I got to be careful not to misread. That could be really disastrous. All profits times 9 is important though. Can't really do anything with the angels currently. All profits times 9 sounds good. So these are making duodecillions. These are making tridecillions, and a lot of them. The oxygen bar is still the one doing the most. It's going to be hard to upgrade that again. I'm going to buy another 100 levels of this. Now it's making 1.6 quados. So it's doing something. It's still no oxygen bar. I'm going to buy another 493 levels of this to take us from 267 to 450 quados. That's actually a really big increase. That was over a 50% increase. So that feels good. What's my next biggest earner? Probably this, 1.5 quados from what I can see. Quintillion is big. Might actually be the werewolves. I think it's the werewolves at this point. So we're going to buy 57 levels there. Didn't have a great big impact, but it had an impact. Then I'm going to buy 250 levels of cheese because I can. Investors have jumped up to 605 quintillion, so we will get a much bigger impact there. Can we buy the next level of anything? Everything gets so expensive. We need 288 quintillion here, octodecillion, novemdecillion. They get so very, very expensive. I'm not really sure what I want to do next. Oxygen bar, if we get it to 1440, it's going to go up 55,000 times. Apparently there's a premium for oxygen in space. It's already the biggest earner far and away. It could get that much better. That's crazy. Okay, let's claim the angels then. From 1 quintillion to 600 quintillion. 20 gold well spent. That's going to help get the money we need. So now we're racking up sextillions every second. So that means we should probably buy another level of the clones. So they jump up to 71 tridecillion. We should also do the phone boost. They jump up to 2 tridecillion at light speed. And the sextillions are still piling up. Upgrade wise. Right, we probably want to trade in some angels. The safe buy, is it not going to let us? Yeah, even that would be expensive. Plus 10 gravity boost. That would be really expensive angel-wise. 3% angels up here, though, actually. Angel effectiveness plus 3%. That's huge, actually. If we can get that, we just need one septendecillion. We're about a 20th, better than a 20th of the way there. Closing in on 1/10. We just passed 1/15th, in fact. So what we want to do is decide what to spend our money on next. They're making quados here. Quite a lot of them, really. This is actually getting pretty good. Quindecillion, though, the oxygen bar is still so good that, like, it's hard to do anything else. Although the werewolves can get upgraded suddenly to 18.4 sextillion. And they should do that every 57 seconds. That's actually pretty big. That's going to be really good when that closes out. We still need Novemdecillion, so I think we're going to have to do a little time skip here to make sure we're getting our earnings right. We're going to click that. 171 septendecillion. Which means we can actually buy more of those. We also can... We definitely want the angel effectiveness. That's going to help us out in a big way. That's going to give us a lot more earnings, actually. So now the oxygen bar is 463 quindecillion at light speed. And I do think we need to upgrade the amusement park. So it'll go from 1.2 quindecillion to 13 quindecillion. And that's every couple of seconds. So that will add up too. I'm pretty sure all of our income is in the oxygen bar. Very simple as that. So it could go from 600 quintillion to 61 sextillion angels. Plus you get 8% bonus. So that's 100 times the bonus overall. So we'll do that. Plus with the extra effectiveness, I think that's going to be good. So now the septendecillions are moving upwards again. We got some upgrades we can buy. Don't know if I care about anything that low right now. Because we go as high as here. 11 quados at light speed is actually pretty good. We can get clones times 3. We're going to do that. Oxygen bar is the one we really want. We want that times 3. That would also help. Clones times 3 in the meantime is perfectly fine. It's a 10th of... actually it was the oxygen bar is 47 sextillion at this point. It's a much bigger number. So the quados really are fairly insignificant. Yeah, 47 sextillion is just such a big number that it's hard to justify anything else. And we can get, for 220 septendecillion, we can get more. That number's not going to take that long to come around. So while we're waiting, let's scoot back over to Earth. We made 181 quadrillion while we were waiting. Earth is very hard to upgrade. That's what I'm taking away from this. We can still do oil profits times 3. Nothing really changed there. We could give up some of our many angels. Oil companies 10% cheaper and shows cash per second. 100 angels here to make banks cheaper. If it's warning you, yeah, we'll still do it. So it's making $218 trillion a second overall. This is $142 trillion per second overall. How are we doing investor-wise? Bad. It's really, really hard to make Earth go. It just is. Not much I could do about that now. Well, we'll go back to the moon then. Earth is going to be Earth. Maybe one day we'll make it to Mars. I think we actually have to pay for Mars with the M dollars. I don't know if I can start another project at this point. Keeping 2 celestial bodies going is hard enough as it is. We're getting closer to septendecillion here. Not as quick as I'd like. So let's go ahead and give ourselves another little boost. Then we have the money we need. Actually we don't. Wait, we need 4.2. Was I reading that wrong? I must have been reading that wrong. That's going to happen a lot. After reading all these numbers for so long, everything starts to blend together. That's alright. So this gets septendecillion, which is actually really big. It would be nice to get this, but we need Novemdecillion. Oh, we were looking for this upgrade is what it was. Yes, I remember now. So we have 28 octodecillion, so we'll get the happy hour thing for that. So this is now making 142 sextillion at light speed. We want the werewolf upgrade for 3.3 octodecillion. So it makes 10 septendecillion. It just got triple the profit. We can spend 450 septendecillion here, so that's making sextillions. This one's really expensive. It might be worth it. What's the next rocket upgrade going to give us? We could also get profits times 3 on it. We need unlocks. What is the rocket going to give us? 24 times actually is quite good. I think we got to do that. It's a lot of our money, but it's now going to make 12 quindecillion. So it's not that much, but it's getting up there. 175 septendecillion there. Profits of the Moonshoes 7.5 times. 2.1 octos. Gravity boots times 5. 3.2 octos. Clones times 3. So money definitely went up. Investors should be going up. Yeah, we could have over 10 times the amount already. We could quick buy a lot of these. I think we should. Security drones for the amusement park. So this makes 1.3 sextillion. The next one would be better because that's going to hit the werewolves. But we need novemdecillion for that. And I actually didn't have enough for the security drones after buying all that. That's okay. That's only sextillion. We'll get over it. Because the helium bar, whatever their farm is they're mining here, is already at 4 sextillion. Luckily, the oxygen bar is still well ahead of that. Maybe we should max buy this for now. 142 sextillion becomes 156. It was a 10% increase. We could live with that. Should we max buy something else? Quindecillion is not worth it. Upgrade-wise, angel time, I suppose. We could definitely get the 50 quintillion angels. We should probably quick buy this for the safety version, because it won't let us do anything stupid that way. I don't think it's worth boosting any of the rest of those. Okay, we still can't buy next anywhere. Things are piling up. Investor-wise, 738. Progress is slowed again, so we'll do another little boost. Just to be sure the money's piling up. There we go. Septendecillions are flying by. It's still not as quick as it will be, but it's going. Septendecillions are on the way to octodecillions. So actually at this point we should do a little boost then to take advantage of our new rate of income. 10 gold well spent. We've been piling up gold a bit in the background, I think, too. At 235, well, we got some back at least. That much I know. So right now we have 1.2 novemdecillion, so we're getting close to being able to upgrade the oxygen bar. We could definitely get a lot more angels for now. I want to see under upgrades what more we can buy. So 911 septendecillion. More so angels. We can get for 186 we could get actually the oxygen bar times 3, which curiously is tempting. It would be a lot of our angels. But that individually does so much for us. Instead of that, what we should maybe do is do this again. We'll get not quite double the amount, but we'll get 5 times the amount of angels. So let's do that real quick. Just a bit of gold. That's no problem. Then we're going to do a little warp for one day. And we're going to see what this lands us. We get 200 gold still. So now we could buy the next level of the oxygen bar. So it'll take us from 13.2 septendecillion to 793 octodecillion. That was a 55,555 times multiplier on what was already our biggest earner by a long shot. So that's a nice little boost for us. Now we can spend 29 novemdecillion on the phone booth. That'll get us from 473 quados to 2.8 quindecillion. So that's a little better for that one. Probably. So the angels, we could get 10 times the amount already. What we want instead is all profits times 9 for sure. Amusement park times 3. Werewolf times 3. Laser profits times 3. Moon shoes times 3. Yeah, we do want that. We want them all. Oh, also this. My helium bar that's getting 3.1 septendecillion per second is now making 24 septendecillion per second. Then we could upgrade some other things if we want. We'll quick buy those. Actually, we couldn't quite get that. But it'll wrap back around shortly because we're making like 40, 50 novemdecillion per second. And that's a lot of money. I can't even comprehend how big of a number that is. That's just silliness. So we could jump up again here to get way more angels. They're piling up quickly. Moon Express profits. Actually, if we get 3 duo vigintillion, which is a little ways away, we can get the oxygen bar again. It's only times 3, but that's fine. So we'll get more angels. 20 gold well spent. 254 septillion angels to our name. And then we're going to do just a little boost. Then we got 173 unvigintillion, which means we can get, oh, we still need duo. So actually we need considerably more. That's okay. I know how to get there. We basically just keep doing what we're doing. Angel wise, oxygen bar. So I actually can spend this now. Oxygen bar times 3. We'll do a smart buy. 1 septillion angels even would be good. I think we'll probably get that for all profits times 3. So now the oxygen bar is getting 3.1 vigintillion at light speed. We could buy the next level of a lot of things. This gets novemdecillion. I think that's going to be the highest. Yeah, we'll upgrade the werewolves. So now they make 36 novemdecillion, which is big. I'm losing track of all the numbers. It's hard to keep track of what they all are and what they do. We'll upgrade the laser. So that's up to 66 novemdecillion, which is bigger than 36. That much I know. We'll upgrade the amusement park, so it's up to 13 octodecillion. The cheese is up to 277 septend. Helium bar is up to 82 octodecillion at light speed. That's actually quite good. The oxygen bar, I think, is still far and away the best. I don't think there's a close second in that. To upgrade it again, we need 3.3 septentrigintillion, which definitely sounds like a made-up word. And it very well might be. Nobody knows at that point. They're not numbers that really represent much of anything, not in day-to-day life. So we get the cash. How are our angels looking? At this point, we go from 255 septillion to 63 octillion. So we might as well do that. Jump ourselves ahead a little bit. There's all of our gold. And then right away, we're going to do a little boost to make sure we're taking advantage of that newfound income. We made 1.5 trivigintillion, which isn't enough to buy a whole lot of things, which seems strange. But the numbers get pretty big in this because we can, like, scrolling down the upgrade menu, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going and going. Obviously, by the time we hit the bottom, there it is. The very large upgrade. All profits 999 times, but look at these terms at this point. By the time I'm done saying the word, we'll be asleep. Now we gotta cleverly scroll all the way back to the top. We'll get there eventually. Perfect. So since we have all this money, oxygen bar times 3 for sure, because it's our big earner. All profits times 9, also a big one. We'll quick buy the rest for whatever we can. And now my beautiful oxygen bar gets 20.8 unvigintillion. And that's at light speed. I don't know how many times a second it is. I wish I did. Next, we're going to buy the phone booth for 19 unvigintillion. That boosted up to 464 septendecillion. The clones we're going to invest 123 unvigintillion into. That brought them up to 900 and 69 septendecillion at light speed. Upgrade wise, could probably. These are very expensive. I don't really know what it means by plus 10 gravity boost. Does that just mean 10 more of them? It might. I'm not really sure what it means, but it's very expensive. 25 octillion angels is a lot. We would definitely fill that now. I mean, we are about ready to prestige, so to speak. Let's go check in on Earth for a second while I'm thinking about that. $370 quadrillion here. Not really enough to buy anything. We started on Earth and then we abandoned it. For 20 quadrillion, we will buy more oil profits. So that's $654 trillion a second. Which seems pretty good. Things can get cheaper here. But we need to do more. It's just hard to get the angels. We gotta boost it. We'll go back to the moon where the big numbers live. The bigger numbers. They're still pretty big on Earth. That is bigger here. Buying next still isn't going to work. So let's go ahead and reinvest. We'll go from 63 octillion to 5.8 nonillion. Jump us ahead just a smidge. And then we're going to do a little boost for one day. See where that lands us. 3.86 quado vigintillion. So we're back around to some sort of quados. We got to decide how we want to spend these best. We got 3 quados. This one's the most expensive. It's going to get us vigintillion, which I think is the biggest of everything here. It's not as fast as that, but it's got to be big. We'll buy some of that. We got that times 8, so it makes 82 vigintillion every couple of seconds. Then we can spend 11 of those here to go up to 285 octodecillion, and 3 of them here to go up to 350 novemdecillion. Now we might be able to spend some of those angels a little better. Giant robot laser times 3. So we want to see this. For 25 octillion angels plus 10 gravity boost, is that what it's saying? 2560? So let's try that. 2560. So it didn't change the quantity of them. I'm not entirely sure what is changing. I keep hitting the wrong thing. So angels plus 10 Moon Express. 25 octillion plus 10 helium farm, amusement park, giant laser. And then we circle back around to the point where like we get profits times 3. It would give us a warning if we tried to touch that. Maybe it just made everything faster. We're currently at about 1 quado vigintillion. We need to jump through the number 5, the number 6 to get up to septen trigintillion. These are getting hard to say. Septen trigintillion. So we're a long ways from that is what I'm trying to say, a long ways. But we've also come a long ways. And we should be proud of that. So we could jump from 5.8 nonillion to 289 nonillion, so we will. Let's just let it keep rolling. So with that, we're making more money for sure. So let's go ahead and give ourselves another little boost. 10 gold well spent. 191 new quados for us. We can upgrade the werewolf, so we'll slip that in before that closes. 3.9 duo vigintillion. So these are also going up alarmingly quick. The angels show up a lot. Well, could oxygen bar times 3? No, we can't quite afford that still. It would give us a warning and say this is done. So we're not going to do that. What we'll do instead is upgrade moon shoes times 3. Gravity boost. Clones will... They're still going to take a second. It's crazy. No matter how much we increase ourselves, the next things are always a long ways away. Didn't mean to open that. Not sure what I clicked on. So upgrade wise, we can't sacrifice any more angels right now. We are getting lots of angels. Well, we get 6 times the amount, which isn't as big as you'd hope for. But things are naturally going to slow down the further in you get. What we'll do instead, we'll go for a 7-day time warp right now. That's going to bring us up to 1.3 quinvigintillion, so that's the 5 vigintillion. We still need to get it to 7 vigintillion. It's a long ways away still. But this will help us out with our earnings. Oxygen bar times 3 for 430 quados. That seems like an easy choice. Helium farm for 800 quados can go up too, so those are both going to be quite big. So this now makes 290 duo vigintillions every second. So it's making tre vigintillions per second at least. And I know that doesn't probably mean much rationally to most people, but it's a lot. It's bigger than it was. Do we want to try and sacrifice some angels? Still can't really sacrifice enough nonillions to get that one up. But our income is so high at this point. It is, the progress is slowing down a bit. It's getting harder and harder to make it go. There are some other multipliers and everything too. But the time warps have been serving us well. Let's do another time warp to get 571 quados to see if that can help us jump ahead a bit. Even the, well, actually that's getting bigger. 6.58 Decilia angels, but it's so hard to make any more progress. Because we can't really sacrifice, we need to sacrifice a lot of angels to make that worthwhile. Maybe that's exactly what we should do then, because here's we get some angels. Now we can sacrifice some for our oxygen bar. There's also all profits times 3, but that's too expensive again. We can buy, yeah, we can buy this one. That's not so bad. We'll quick buy whatever we can. Now we can get clones times 3, Moon Express times 3. Now the oxygen bar is about 20 tre vigintillion at light speed, many times a second. So good things are happening down over there. We'll jump over to Earth again real quick. I keep jumping over here in the hopes that something will magically have happened. It's really not likely to very quickly. We can unlock the easy upgrader for 1 angel. But the investors, everything's sort of pretty stationary right here, unless we boost it ahead. But we put all our boosts in the moon, and that's felt better. I think it's been more worth our while. So we definitely don't want to give up any more. Well, we could do that one actually. That one wasn't so bad. The Moon Express, maybe? 100 nonillion. That dropped it to 6.5. I don't know if that's actually worth it. I don't think it is. We just need all the boost we can going up for our oxygen bar. And that's really making us the money. So we'll go ahead and boost ourselves forward again a little bit. Another full day's worth. 38 big numbers. Put it that way. Investors will have piled up again. A little bit slower than it was before, but we got a little bit more to spend now. Angel investor effectiveness would be good. All profits times 9 would also be good. Things are getting, even with all the boosts and everything, but we can buy the next for a few things. I shouldn't lose track of that. So we're going to upgrade our laser from 47.9 duo vigintillion. Got some free gold for that. Up to 4.6 tre vigintillion. And that only takes 20 seconds actually, so that's going to help. That's going to be quite good for us. Aside from that, let's spend 4 quinvigintillion on the clones. That took us up to 3.1 vigintillion, which is nowhere near big enough to really move the needle for us. But I wasn't expecting it to. It's just going to be hard to make those things work. Oxygen bar will get big. Look at the cheese mine. If we get it to 2048, we'd have to double it. Suddenly it goes crazy. It gets 88 million times bigger. 88 million. Moonshoe is actually 5120 as well. We gotta double the things though. Quintrigintillion. Quinvigintillion. They all look the same. Octotrigintillion, so we're not far away from getting big boosts. Or maybe we are. I'm just not sure to go about actually reaching those at this point. So let's try the shop. Let's go for another day's worth of time warp to give us some easy boost. 154 Quinn Vigintillion. We could upgrade this. Is that going to move the needle at all? It might actually. Somewhat. We should probably also get more angels at this point. 20 gold though. Let's boost this real quick. So that's up to 1.4 duo Vigintillion. So that's something at least. Upgrade wise, we can get a few more things down here. Werewolf Colony profits ×3 certainly wouldn't hurt. Cheese Mine ×3. Amusement Park ×3. Giant Laser ×3. We need 44 Quinn Vigintillions to get all profits ×9. Things are making their money though. The angels are nearly 10 times the amount. So maybe we'll do that. 20 gold. So now things should have gone up quite a lot again. So the oxygen bar is still 195 Trey Vigintillion. Everything is moving upwards. It would be nice to get oxygen bar, moon shoes, cheese mine. But things are expensive. It's crazy how expensive they are. So we're going to quick buy the angels. Now we got to decide how we want to spend these. Spend 2 Tistillion on profits ×3. I'm actually going to do that. Let's turn Werewolf Colony up. Because Werewolf Colony can be quite big. It's still nowhere near our oxygen bar. Oxygen bar is just the best. There's just no other way to look at it. Oxygen bar for the big numbers. The werewolf gave a little howl there. Can we buy more levels of things? We could buy another 500 levels of oxygen bar. From 559 to 754. So that's nearly a 50% increase. That was pretty good by itself. That's not a terrible thing to do. The quados are piling up. We're making like 50 quado Vigintillion per second. Which seems pretty good. Then those turn into Quinn Vigintillion. So in order to buy the next, we need bigger numbers. We can't buy anything for the Quinn Vigintillions. We need Quinn Trigintillions. And I don't know where those are. But at this point, since we've run out of gold and had our sweet fun with this, I think it's time to wrap this one up so I can move on to the next one. Hopefully you're all asleep anyway. If there's anything I can do to make these better, let me know. I am going to try to dampen down the white screens that were in this a little bit and play with some things, because I realized some of these screens got a lot brighter than I meant them to. So we'll see what I can do.